my opinion on the first TTRPG group stream, pretty much good. Pretty much good.
Yeah.
I'm liking it. I like the incentives that Callie gave to like actually participate.
Yeah.
Just as someone who has played with a lupine person very often, I
Yes.
am very unenthused about Kiara's attitude, approach to the party, approach to the RP, and also how she's basically trying to make her bird do everything.
Yeah. Now, granted, the attitude thing could just be her role playing even more, but well,
Yeah,
like
but
at first at least,
so
like okay, this character's a bit of a bitch.
I'm gonna bring up what Max said since he's not gonna be here tonight. So Atin is also not
Sure.
gonna be here tonight. So Max said in response to watching the TTRPG group stream finally.
Hmm.
Let's see here. Holy shit, why is she being so uncooperative? She's being needlessly antagonistic. I don't remember paranoia being part of her character. If she doesn't want to play, she should just drop out. The spat between Kiara and Scout felt more like a spat between Kiara and Gura than their actual characters, as it sounds a lot like actual frustration is going on there. Well, like, yeah, that's fair enough. But then you start talking about the whole Vic incident, and yeah, and Kiara's got a really odd character development when it comes to Vic, because her character kidnapped him with a gun, forced him at gunpoint to break into a property, and then forced him at gunpoint to try and help her assault people inside the house. And then her character gets mad at the person she forced at gunpoint to commit crimes when they run away, when she can no longer point the gun at them.
Yeah.
And she's mad at this character for not helping her more.
Kiara moment.
Really is.
Yeah, it pretty much is a Kiara moment, and it's just like... Callie tried being so subtle. She tried being so subtle, like, oh, you can ask any of the NPCs to help you out, and here's a thing that, if it's the NPC, you could maybe take Vic.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, it is what it is. But let's get on with the show. So Max and Atin, like I said, will not be joining us tonight. Max might show up later, but, it's 50-50. Hello, everyone. I am SneakyDevil, and this is Fanfiction, Contempt Theater 9004.
Yeehaw. What episode are we on? 60? Done.
Yeah, we're number 60 now. Yes.
Goddamn.
We're cranking through them.
Time flies. When you're having... Well, fun is a relative term.
Yes, fun is a relative term. You see, there's 3 types of fun. You see, the first type of fun is when you have fun doing it. The second type of fun is when you don't have fun doing it, but you have fun remembering it. And the third type of fun is when you don't have fun doing it and you don't have fun remembering it. And you might be asking, but Sneaky, how can that be a type of fun? And my response to you is, well, people still show up for this podcast, don't they?
Yep.
Yeah. That's just how it be. I mean, in my defense, I don't really have too much else going on at 1 a.m. on a Wednesday morning. So,
I mean, yeah, that's true enough. All right, so let's get skedaddle right on into this one. Yeah, let's start with this. Yeah, boy.
Oh no.
Oh no.
So this is Devil May Cry Naruto.
Oh god.
A series I've never heard of.
Which one?
DMC.
Yeah, I never really paid attention to Devil May Cry either until Gura turned me onto it, and I was like, okay, this isn't as bad as I thought it would be.
I just never cared.
What
Oh,
if
it's a
Harry
VF
Potter-
Snake story. Ah.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a VF Snake story. So I thought, thought I would start with something, fun, amusing that we can all laugh at. Now that Max and Atin aren't here, we can actually have fun.
Yeah. It's weird how that is, huh?
That's not wrong.
Yeah, the fun police are out of town.
What if Harry Potter joined the Syrian army? I'm pretty sure that's canon. You should ping J.K. Rowling about that.
Yeah. DM her on Twitter. Harry
So,
Potter and
this is
the Battle of Aleppo.
Tradition and honor, a devil's creed. Naruto doesn't summon the toads when Jiraiya pushes him over the ravine and hit bottom. As he lies there, slowly dying, he learns that he is a long-lined descendant of Virgil Sparta. From the spirit of the man himself. Can anyone say bingo? Well, you're mixing the two characters up already.
And this is a surprise to no one,
Yeah,
considering it's VFS Snake.
yeah. So I tried reading this story on my own, and I got about halfway into the chapter before I was like, holy shit, I can't fucking do this anymore.
I mean, it is VF Snake, so...
It's a VF Snake story, yeah, I know. He actually supposedly completed this one, though.
He supposedly completes a lot of stuff, but
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's not good.
Is it like, I actually finished the story, or is it like Cledwid's, I am done with this?
It's actually, I have completed.
Yeah.
No.
Doesn't mean
But
they're
at what
good
cost?
stories. Yeah.
No. At best, they are steaming shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of non-prime subscribers in my non-prime
Come on.
non-subscribers in my
Come on,
chat.
boys, give Sneaky money,
Come on, boys.
as
Feed
if
me.
he deserves it. I say, having given Sneaky far too much money.
Indeed. The Devil's Return. I am looking at Aaron Jacob, 37 months subscribed.
Yeah, you can't see it, but I'm doing like the depressed troll face emoji right now.
That's let's see, $5 a month, and I only get about half that.
Yep.
So that's what, 60?
Yeah, well, I mean,
About $300 $315.
don't forget the one time well, actually several times I've given you bits. So like,
Yeah, that's right. People
probably
used to give
another,
me
like,
bits. Yeah,
$40.
I remember the
in bits or
days when
something.
people paid me money. Those
Yeah.
were good days.
I don't think I've
Happy
ever
days.
given you money,
No, you didn't.
except for the commission stuff to pay that person, but that's about it.
Yeah,
so
that
you're
was a
doing sneaky
disappointment.
money.
That was a major disappointment.
Oh, hell
Big-
yeah, that was a disappointment.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, speaking of
God.
which, so I was thinking, right, we're eventually gonna need a roster of original characters for just
Mhm.
Uh-oh.
possible future stuff in WoW.
Yep.
What do you think about making them all do a fucking chapter, like miniature interlude chapter contest sort of thing, where the best ones get pinned as apocryphas and we can use them later?
That's actually pretty genius.
So, I mean, we got a decent fan base size, so it could work,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
There's gonna be some people in there who can, you know,
Someone exists.
be worth something. Oh damn. They actually showed up.
Oh shit, who showed up? Ah, fuck, the fun police are here.
Drugs.
Yeah.
The drugs are working well enough that
Okay.
I decided to torture you.
All right, well, we're gonna torture you instead. This is Devil May Cry Naruto, VF Snake, a classic.
Uno reverse card.
I care nothing for DMC.
Fair enough. So, anyway, so VF Snake classically gets into his purple prose of Naruto was a boy who wanted so much in the world and was given so little because of the burden inside of him. And so you blah 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 blah. Blah blah blah, you know, Jiraiya throws him off a fucking ledge and Naruto's like, wow, I'm being thrown off a ledge. And he's
Is
like,
this Tekken?
yes, this is Tekken.
Amazing.
The Naruto Tekken crossover. Sneaky, I can see it now. Someone literally just writes combo strings for the entire story.
That would actually be kind of funny.
Yes, today I shall press buttons.
Today I shall juggle this person in the air for 20 minutes.
Okay, guy.
20 minutes? How much health do you think people have in Street Fighter, boy?
Not
This
enough.
is Tekken.
Or Tekken. Street Fighter or Tekken. It's not 20 minutes worth of juggling, that's for darn sure.
I mean, in Smash you could probably manage it.
Jesus Christ.
Smash
70% proof. Ah.
Wait, hang on, 70% proof? What?
Yeah, 70%. Yeah, wow. Ooh,
140 proof.
ooh, 70%. Yeah, I've been drinking it straight, and that is wow.
Yeah, that's a bad idea.
That's a woof.
Why have you been drinking it straight?
Because I
Why
forgot.
not?
I forgot to chill it. I forgot to put it in the freezer before this started. So
And
So
Yeah,
you
you
decided
just
the
told me
best
to
thing
not
to do
drink
is just
60%
drink
straight.
from the bottle, huh?
Yep.
I mean, sneaky moment.
So anyway, as I was saying, so he tries to cling to jagged rocks, and shockingly, the jagged rocks are sharp and shred his arms.
No.
Only his arms, huh?
Yes, only his arms. Actually, yeah, only his arms ever get affected by the jagged rocks that he tried to cling to. And then as he's falling to his death, he's like, "Oh no!"
I grabbed the ultra pointy, ultra sharp rocks. All that ever happened to me was my arms got messed up.
Yeah. So as he's falling to his death, he goes, "Oh no, I'm dying. I'll never
never
fuck
be
Hinata. Hinata was always my waifu."
You know, until he gets to this new place and finds some new timid black-haired girl.
No. So what ends up happening is right before Naruto dies, he gets teleported into his mindscape. And Virgil is like, "Wow, thanks for finally arriving, Naruto."
Literally, Virgil would call you a fucking waste of human space and ask what took so long.
You're pathetic, weak, fool.
You aren't strong enough to be an opponent of mine.
You are not motivated. Where's your motivation?
You are not the storm that is approaching.
Yeah, see, here's the thing. I think it would be hilarious if, right? I think a great start to crossover would be, for some reason, right? Virgil or Dante get stuck in like the prison with a Kyuubi, beats the shit out of them, turns them into a devil arm, and the first time Naruto goes in there, there's just an angry Dante and or Virgil like, "Do you know how long I've been fucking stuck in here, you shit child?"
I have been without pizza for 300 years. Better believe Dante would be pissed.
Believe it.
Imagine Dante without pizza.
Honestly, that would just make for a far more entertaining thing. Like, if for no other reason than because, come on, who doesn't want to see the Kyuubi made into a devil arm?
Me.
Kept
I
you
don't
waiting,
even know what
huh?
that is.
Kept you waiting, huh? Right number, wrong franchise.
So close.
Anyway, So Naruto's like, what's going on? And the Kyuubi's like, we're in your mind, vessel. Fuck you, by the way, your mind is shit, but also I pity you because you've been tortured into having your mind be a sewer.
Sing me a best Snake.
Do you need to talk, small child? Look, I'm not like a licensed therapist, but your mindscape is a literal sewer. I got a lot of questions. What is /A?
Fucking the big bad shows up in your mind. He's all ready to kick the shit out of you, take over your body, and like kill your hero companions. And you show up in a fucking sewer, and he's just like, "Oh Jesus Christ!" I mean, dude, I've been alive for like 3,000 years, but holy fuck, man. Do you need to talk or something?
The worst I've ever seen is a cave.
Do you need to talk or something? 'Cause like, gee, holy shit, man. Normally people's minds are like the home they love or the city they're in, or like. But you're in a fucking. Have you ever seen a sewer? Please don't answer that question.
I have so many questions, small child.
My expectations were low, but holy shit.
My expectations were low. I thought I was going to come in on some happy-go-lucky scene. I'll be able to fake kill your parents or something in front of you, but now, fucking Christ, I feel bad.
Like, literally, even, like, the cracked, barren, weapon-filled hellscape that is, oh, goodness me. Shiro Emiya's internal world is literally more cheerful than that.
How big is this sewer? I've been going around and haven't found the exit for 6 months.
Sneaky. Drizzt Do'Urden and the dungeon and the endless hellscape dungeon that is Naruto's internal world.
Some god.
He and Artemis and
some god
the
fucking
reason
uses
Naruto's...
the sewer as like some sort of like, get fucked, you're gonna be stuck in here for a while until I'm done with whatever is going on.
Sneaky. Artemis and Drizzt have been chasing each other through the sewer for eternity.
There's just a single door that just has like a single numpad, and it's just fucking. He doesn't know the password, so all he does is just like input numbers like for eternity. The door is just unlocked by default. How long do you think that would keep him in there?
Who?
Anyone, really.
What?
You.
The first
Wait,
thing
what kind of fucking moron? It wouldn't just try and open the door.
Your typical shonen hero.
You.
No, literally the first thing they would do is try the door.
If you
the
think
first
about
thing
it,
a
though,
shonen protagonist does is try and barge through the door.
yeah, if you think about it, Solid Snake isn't too far off from being Naruto. Really, if it wasn't a shonen. Yeah, fair enough, I suppose.
I hate this answer because I hate it.
Fucking.
Never speak
Oh
again.
no! Oh no! Kojima's got the secret recipe for Naruto! Oh no! Kojima,
No.
put it down! No!
Oh fuck, oh god.
Okay, hold on a minute. These are words I never thought I'd say. Metal Gear would probably be more coherent if it was written by him.
Wait,
You've seen
wait, Kishimoto?
We've been using Kyuubi
Yes.
to create
Barely.
the weapon.
Barely, but it would be more coherent.
Oh,
We've been using Kyuubis to create more powerful versions.
no, the
of
fucking
Super
pain!
Soldier.
We will create a weapon that surpasses the Kyuubi!
I call it the Metal Nine Tails.
Metal Nine Tails.
What have I stumbled into?
Kyuubi program.
Kishimoto and Kojima both switch what series they're working on.
Oh no.
Here's the thing. Best way to do it. Just switch it for like one arc and one game respectively.
Yes. Snake, you have to tap into your inner energies!
What? Colonel, what the hell are you smoking?
Colonel, what are you on? It's the nanobot, Snake! They've unlocked it!
Nanobots. You just like
The entire arc in Naruto, the entire arc is trying to stop Sasuke from using nanobots to resurrect his family.
Does that mean
Because secretly because secretly Orochimaru is trying to control all the nanobots.
Orochimaru turned himself into some sort of chakra AI computer.
Yo, okay, but that sounds interesting.
It really does.
It kind of does, actually.
I'm now picturing Orochimaru driving a gigantic spider bot. I hate you for putting this image in my head.
This is our new weapon! The Mecha Orochimaru! It will surpass all the tailed beasts!
No, it would be like a fucking snake or like winged snake or something like that, like Quetzalcoatl or something like that.
I actually kind of do want to see it now, to be honest.
Yeah, I would sugar something.
I'm so glad this is recorded.
You know, Kojima should post constantly. Surely someone's just like, hey, would you work with Kishimoto if the opportunity ever arose?
No, here's what you do. You go to Kishimoto and say, "Hey, it turns out that goodness me, why can't I? We were just talking about him.
Kojima?
Crazy cracked Kojima.
Crazy crack.
You go to Kojima. Hey, Kishimoto said he'd really like to work with you on a project and he's ready to go. Go to Kishimoto. Hey, Kojima said he'd really like to work with a project on you and he's ready to go.
If only that would work. If only.
I'm gonna be real. Kojima strikes me as the kind of person that would be down to collab with just about anyone as long as they're actually willing to reciprocate.
True.
Okay, listen. Studio Trigger and Kojima, let's go.
So all I'm saying is, Arxis gets put in charge of the Naruto written by Kojima game, and UFO Table is put in charge of the Solid Snake arc animated and written by Kojima, Kishimoto.
Yes.
So all I'm saying.
The biggest budget, unlimited budget works on both of them.
All I'm saying.
Unlimited
Think about it. So anyway.
I am, and I'm horrified.
So what we're doing right now, Max, is we're reading a Devil May Cry Naruto story in which Naruto is the sole inheritor of the Sparta powers. And
which also, by the way, we thought a much more interesting version
yeah
would be, I mean, literally anything, but Dante or Virgil ending up in Naruto's inner mind, making a devil arm out of the Kyuubi and being stuck there until the first time Naruto dies.
Indeed.
Nearly dies.
So anyway.
Okay. I'm looking at some of this and I'm already like, based on what I know of DMC thanks to knowledge from 5.
Yeah.
Naruto should be like insanely strong right now.
Yeah. So
Hang on
anyway.
a minute. So wait, hold on. If we have Dante in one, who would house Virgil?
Sasuke.
I mean, yeah. Or I guess you could have Gaara house Virgil.
No, literally, it's just yeet.
Oh, come on,
no, better. No,
it's
no,
perfect.
no,
They both have massive mommy
no,
issues.
even better. Yeet the two fucking brothers. The two fucking brothers can get the fuck out of here. Sasuke and Naruto inherit the souls of Dante and Virgil. Fuck the two brothers of the sage.
Oh hell yes!
It's Sasuke and Virgil time.
Sasuke,
you know what?
I need to borrow your Sharingan powers.
That would be a great moment in the Fourth War when the sage is like, "Oh, it's my reincarnated. Who the fuck are you two?
Who the fuck are you two?"
We got bored down in hell, and these two guys kept complaining about getting resurrected. So we told them, "Yeah, we'll take your places to get out of hell."
We did a tag team.
You might even have called it a don't say it a jackpot.
Just fucking constantly annoyed with him saying jackpot all the time. Instead of believe it, he just says jackpot.
No, it changes from believe it to jackpot.
Indeed. Anyway, so point being is that currently right now Naruto got thrown off the ledge. Jiraiya is like Lamau, and his arms were shredded irreparably by gripping onto the super jagged rocks. No other piece of him was harmed during this time where he failed to grab onto the super jagged rocks and his entire arms were shredded. Do not ask. And now that they're inside his mindscape, Virgil has appeared inside his mindscape and said, "Finally, you show up." And the Kyuubi's like, And Naruto's like, "Who the fuck are you?" And Virgil's like, "I am Sparta, no Virgil."
No.
No, it should have just kept it as Virgil. If you want to include Sparta bit, it should be son of Sparta, but like,
Yeah.
fuck off.
I am
No.
your ancestor from 1,000 years ago before the elemental countries existed. Pretty sure that ain't right. Before looking at the Kyuubi, who is now growling at him, and he's like, "Oh, I fucking knew it! You're one of the twin sons of Sparta, the legendary demon knight." The Kyuubi snarled at Virgil, and the form of the said man turned to stare at Fox without fear. It fucking
Yeah,
reads
Snake
like
moment.
Half-Life Consequences. Like,
Half-Life,
Oh
Full
god,
Life
it does.
Consequences. Yeah.
yes, I am, as I said before, Naruto is my descendant and has the power to awaken his demonic blood. Again, that has been long dormant after being watered down by human blood over the years. Comma, said Virgil, as he saw Kyuubi look at him.
Why is it Virgil? Why Virgil? Virgil is
Yeah, I don't know why Virgil. It's such a weird, like, so you'll see why Virgil, like, obviously because if you want your main character to be this super edgy murder hobo, Virgil.
But here's the thing. You can have a super edgy murder hobo with Dante, but he's funny.
Yeah, you see, but the author is a chuny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, you're not wrong, but why? Look, there are plenty of reasons to use Virgil. Virgil can be an interesting character. I'm not saying he is. He can be. But
I was gonna say, if you're about to ask why people ruin Virgil by being
no, because
shitty about it,
Virgil's already pretty ruined.
Yeah. Anyway, so, and then blah blah blah. Your father is the Yodime. My father is the Yodime. Yes, your father is the Yodime. He was also the closest one to inheriting my devil blood. And he probably would have awakened it too, if it not for a certain fox. And Kyuubi's like, "Look, bitch, I got summoned by the Uchiha Madara, and he forced me to attack the village." That's right. The nine-tailed demon fox is actually not Nose. Fix your mic, or I'm banning you.
fuck do you mean fix your mic?
When I speak, I don't want to hear my voice come over your mic.
No ceremony.
The author is a chuny and more than a bit retarded. Factual statements.
Yeah.
Correct. So yeah, the tailed beasts are just getting casually thrown out the window as being the tailed beasts, and now they're just demons, just run-of-the-mill demons.
Yeah. That's just how it be.
Yeah. Not
Something chunies.
Yeah. That would explain why you did it, and not your entire fault. Not that it matters now, since we're all about to die. And everyone's like, "What? What do you mean you're about to die?" And he's like, "Well, you see, Jiraiya pushed me off a cliff, and then I fucked it up." Literally.
I'm sorry. I just want to see Jiraiya pop out of the woodwork. You couldn't even fall off a cliff correctly.
No, literally, the excuse as to why Naruto didn't summon a toad this time is because he's too scared.
Oh, fuck off.
Yeah.
Find out.
Yep, he was too scared to try and summon a toad again, so he didn't.
Okay.
Yep.
Interesting tactic.
Well, you see, under most circumstances you would die, but I can save you. I can change you and transform you into something incredible. said Virgil as he now walked towards Naruto and placed a hand on his shoulder. What do you have in mind? Said Naruto, as he looked at Virgil and saw the man smirk back at him. Kyuubi is gonna jumpstart the dormant devil blood in your veins. You would have fully awakened it on the bridge had you killed Haku, but you stopped before killing Haku, and as a result, your devil stays dormant. And then Naruto looked away from him. I couldn't kill her. Haku was a good person, and deserved to be shown mercy. And Virgil's like, yeah, I understand that. You shouldn't kill good people.
Bro.
The Kyuubi...
Is this Virgil we're talking about? Are we sure?
When the Kyuubi gives you his soul, you will be empowered by devil blood of your family, and all of my knowledge will be gifted to you.
The author's interpretation of what Virgil is, obviously.
All
Yeah,
of
but
my
here's the
knowledge
question.
will be given to you? Wait, what?
Will Naruto also be gifted with Virgil's theme song?
No, he will not.
Unfortunate. That's like 90% of the fun right there.
Indeed. You see, Naruto, even though his name is set fit for it, he cannot be the storm that is approaching.
He's the storm that is going further away.
He is the storm that is taking an abrupt 90-degree turn.
He's the storm that's currently heading away from your location at a rapid speed. Naruto, I am 100 meters away and leaving rapidly.
I am 100 meters away, and I am escalating that rapidly. Do not tell me your location. In truth, you will actually become me, Virgil, and then you will become unstoppable. What? So awakening his devil blood just turns him into Virgil?
We're all
Sure,
Virgil
why
now.
not?
We're all
Everybody's
now.
Virgil.
There's just one problem with your plan, son of Sparta. Why would I give up my soul? And Virgil's like, well, you can either do that or you can die, and the Shinigami can eat you.
Sneaky. Instead of return to Crab, it's return to Virgil.
All demons eventually return to Virgil.
Exactly. It's a natural path of evolution.
And the Kyuubi's like, fine, yeah, you're right. I will die an agonizing death. I might as well give this kid a fighting chance. But, kid, you gotta promise me to kill all the Uchiha. And Virgil's like, yeah, that's fine. And Naruto's like, what? I don't want to kill the Uchiha. The Uchiha are my friends. And literally both of them are like, bro, kid, bro. Literally the Uchiha are garbage people, garbage humans. Literally the trash of the trash. They are just so fucking bad at being people that if you gave a trash can feelings, they would be better at being a friend than the Uchiha.
Yes, that's
no.
very true.
Terrorists.
That's probably true.
As the fucking Kyuubi just said moments ago, were responsible in all your life suffering.
Yep.
Literally, everything in the Naruto universe would be fine if the Uchihas weren't there.
Yep.
It really is messed up that Kishimoto took that step. It's like, you realize you just proved everything the second Hokage had to say about them.
Yeah.
Despite trying to show him as a bad person.
Lol, said the second Hokage from the grave. Lamau.
It's like how everything in 40k is Magnus's fault. It isn't, but at the same time, it really is.
Magnus just goes like, how is that my fault? And then there's like a 300-page essay detailing exactly how his actions during the Horus Heresy led to it.
Yeah, some fucking toilet backs up. Damn it, Magnus! Okay, hold the fuck on. How is this my fault? Well, actually, you see, this steel was used during the Horus Heresy. God fucking damn it.
You see,
This toilet came from the remains of an Emperor-class battleship destroyed in the Horus Heresy. Are you kidding me?
Possibly.
See, this part of this pillar was held up thanks to your now broken spine. I'm going to fucking kill you. Okay, so why doesn't this one work? Well, that one's one of the hearts that you tore out of Lehman Russ.
I sorry, I can just see in like Emperor text to speech device version of the universe, where Imperial Guardsman just starts saying "Damn it, Magnus," and getting his psychic attention, just to be like peeing in some shit. Just be like, "Haha, made you look at my dick."
I mean, at that point, they get turned into a chaos.
I can see it
You know
now.
what?
The whole reason the Space Wolves started succeeding is because guardsmen all over the universe have been instructed to say, "Fuck you, Magnus," whenever anything goes slightly wrong for them.
Magnus is like constantly distracted by people telling him he can go fuck himself. And he's just like, what did I do?
That is the 40th dick I have looked at in the past hour. Fuck all of you.
No, he shows up in the Emperor's throne room. Do you know how many dicks I've been forced to look at in the last 17 minutes?
Wow, Magnus, that sounds like you're gay.
483,000!
That's kind
What?
of gay, Magnus.
It's kind of gay, Magnus.
Kind of fucking gay. Why did you check after the second time?
Corvus Corax shows up out of nowhere. That is super gay, man, and it's a little creepy, and that's coming from the government-endorsed stalker.
Government endorsed stalker.
Is that or is that not what Corvus Corax is?
Look, you Halloween knockoff.
Friends, it is no time to be angry.
What the fuck was that?
I was trying to do a Vulcan accent, didn't work.
Yeah, no shit.
For whatever reason, the Emperor's text-to-speech device decided that Vulcan is Jamaican.
Hey, man, why you doing like that?
In what may be
Yeah,
the most racist joke they've made today.
Yeah,
Well-
this is fair enough.
What Noster said was more fucking Romanian.
Yeah,
I'm
Yeah.
aware.
yeah. No, it wasn't
like
high-pitched
that.
enough.
It did not work.
True.
Regardless, the point is, I was like, okay, guys, look, you make a lot of good jokes. That one is a little too close to racist town.
Nah,
Based.
based. So anyway,
And that's how
we're at the Hokage Tower now, and the Hokage is like, Jiraiya, I'm gonna kick the living shit out of you, and then kicks the living shit out of Jiraiya. And then it's like, Jiraiya, you piece of shit. You're literally the reason why Naruto's life sucks. If you were less of a piece of shit, Naruto's life would suck less. Get out of here. Also, I'm gonna have to announce that Naruto's dead when the Chunin exams finally come around. And everyone was looking for Naruto, and they were all really sad that Naruto was gone, but they kind of expected it. But at the same time, they were sad. And Jiraiya was sad that he let Naruto die too. Blah blah blah. Okay. So, they're like, alright, start for the first match. Hyuga Neji versus Naruto. And then they're like, when Naruto's not showing up. And the Hokage gets up, he's like, alright, time to announce that Naruto's dead. And then suddenly, Virgil
Why
shows
did we
up.
wait this long?
I don't know. And then Virgil shows up. And everyone's like, who the fuck is this guy? And he's like, I'm Uzumaki Naruto. Scum.
The storm that is approaching.
I am the
Actually, you know what? I think it would be. You know what, Sneaky? I just realized we've overlooked the most entertaining crossover possible for
Oh.
DMC.
Yeah.
Clearly, it should be Lady in Naruto's noggin.
Oh god.
I thought you were gonna say Doom DMC, and it's just Dante and the Doom Marine broing out over murdering endless amounts of demons.
I mean, listen, that's the best crossover, but I was speaking specifically to DMC Naruto.
God damn it. Now that's in my fucking head where it's just like you guys remember the song from Visage when you find the shotgun?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yes. And it's just
Vividly.
like they're Dante's cutting through demons, killing them all, and the Doom Marines shooting through demons, killing them all. They finally meet in one room.
No,
They're
no,
like-
Sneaky. They have to start at like the opposite ends of a massive field. No
Oh.
idea that the other's there, but
Right,
as they're
yeah.
working their way to the center,
absolutely,
they
yeah.
start seeing like demons from the opposite side of the field flying into the sky. What the
Right.
hell's over there?
And then they finally meet, and they're kind of just like standing off, looking at each other, and then the music starts playing, and Dante's like, yeah, I'm digging this, and then more demons show up. He's like, all right, let's rock, in tune with the music.
And the Demon Slayer's just like, what in the god?
Demon Slayer, no, Demon Slayer is very chill actually when it comes to
No,
like,
he's just mildly confused, sees Dante slaughtering demons, and just shrugs.
yeah, pretty much. He's
But
very
just-
chill, all things considered. If someone just like shows up and starts murdering demons, he'll just be like, all right, I dig it.
Yes, I got help.
Sneaky,
They-
friend
They're
code
really
added.
competent.
Friend added.
Our friend has joined your session.
No, Sneaky, it's the no, Sneaky, it's just the local player menu from WoW. Add friend.
Chapter 2 of this. Fucking, they kill the next wave of demons. A Terminator with 2 fucking thunder claws lands right next to them. And now comes the next wave of chaos, and they're all like, yeah!
No, Sneaky, clearly it has to be the oldest Terminator alive. That's Space Wolves 1.
Yes.
Just lands with like a power axe and a Gatling gun.
Beep boop, fuck the loyalists.
I dig your style. Let's go.
Hell yeah.
Spawn crossover with Doom. Fucking yeah, let's just keep going. The arena just gets bigger and bigger.
Cuts to the control center in hell. We can't keep this up. We have to. They aren't stopping.
Connect to the other hells. We need all the backup we can get.
It's like the Lego, was it Lego City? I think it was.
Yes.
It was one of the Lego crossovers where like all of the villains from the different series got together and were like, okay, together we can probably beat the heroes. And it's like that, except it's all of the various series that have like a hell in it. And they all get together, like they just like keep calling more, and they're like, okay, clearly we could just, if we just send more from every dimension in, we'll eventually kill them. And then at some point,
Diablo
one of the
gets
villains,
in on there.
yeah, one of the villains finally goes, guys, I think we've actually just made our position worse. They
I
appear
think
to be
they're all
bonding.
They're just friends now.
If it worked for Archeon the Everchosen, it can work for the demons of hell, I guess. Fucking.
Halfway through one of the waves, Carl Franz lands on a griffin. I do not know what occurs here, but you smite chaos, and this
Let's
pleases me.
go!
Archeon just like drops the Slayer of Kings and is just like, I'm out. I'm out.
Alright, fuck this. I'm not ever chosen for this shit.
I'm done. There's not enough bad writers here for me to win.
Kratos
repent.
lands in there. Yeah, let's go.
Hell yeah.
And when it finally ends, they all get together to make the most amazing metal band ever.
They can sit around the fire and have some falafel.
They construct an entire settlement out of demons.
So what did you construct this out of? Oh, I just constructed out of one of the Demon King's skulls.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. So what's this, what'd you construct the mailbox out of? You don't want to know.
God.
No, better yet, there's just a very
That would
concerned
still be
demon.
him.
Is that a mailbox made from pelvic bones?
That would actually be kind of funny, to be honest. Like if you just took it in an absolute crack direction, and just really,
Oh,
you
yeah.
went really light on the plot. Like basically no plot. It's just action scenes of people murdering the shit out of various demons and hell creatures from various different series. Just keep it as that. I think that would be a decently popular story, to be honest. Anyway, so Naruto shows up. They declare him not Naruto, and he's like, "I am Naruto. You fool.
And literally everyone around is like, no, no, you fucking aren't.
Yeah,
No,
so,
you are not.
the source of the killer intent was a boy taller than Neji, with spiky silver hair, blue eyes, wearing a blue trench coat. This lone
Yes,
figure
Naruto.
was dressed in black from his shirt to his steel-toed boots, and had sheathed katana
No, hold on a
sword
minute. Virgil
in his
does not have
hands.
steel-toed boots. Listen, Virgil's the kind of tool who goes into a fight in, like, loafers.
I mean, that's kind of quite a power move.
Kind of, yeah.
So, based.
I'm not saying it isn't a power move. I'm just saying he doesn't wear steel-toed boots.
You know, no, actually, I'm the
people
sort.
in
No, Virgil would be the sort of person that'd be like dress shoes. You know, really nice black dress shoes. Because not only is he gonna kick your ass, he's gonna do it without even getting his shoes dirty.
Yeah, no, cause look at this. Look at this. This is the Hold on. This is the DMC5 art. These are wingtip loafers, and you cannot convince me otherwise.
All right, let me let's get some leg warmers. Yeah, no, those are some dress shoes, man.
Like I said, those are
Yeah.
literally wingtips.
Yeah. It's literally, yeah, leg warmer. He's got like 2 fucking leg warmers.
So what we've learned is Virgil is absolutely a giant nerd.
Not only is he a giant nerd, he's got like the most expensive fucking coat on underneath. He's got like the most petty, like the
Okay.
petty over. What's that called? A petty overcoat?
Yeah.
No, this man wears boots. DMC4 has better shot.
DMC4 has him in boots, yeah, but DMC5, those are loafers. Those
Yeah.
are wingtip loafers.
I don't think they are. I think he just chose to wear guards over his normal boots for some fucking
Those aren't
reason.
guards. Those are leg warmers.
You never
At
think
least
Dante
one of
just
those is
looks
leg
at his
warmers.
outfit and just goes like, "The fuck are you wearing, man?"
Like this dude's got the most expensive fucking petty overcoat on, and then he just drops like a drip ass trench coat over it. It's like, bro, the fuck are you doing?
You are doing yourself no favor. Like,
Virgil
the thing
with the
is,
bit.
if you take off Virgil's stupid overcoat, he looks so much better.
Honestly, without his trench coat on, he looks like the sort of butler from an anime who's about to annihilate your existence.
Yeah. I see that you have chosen to talk poorly about my master. I shall erase your family line from existence.
With a single sword swing, I shall erase your family line from time.
You can't do that.
What, are you gonna try to stop me?
Grabs katana. Okay, maybe you can do that.
Wait, what the fuck?
Yes, Naruto is presumed dead, and some rando who looks nothing like Naruto shows up claiming to be Naruto, and everyone's like, oh my god, I guess that's Naruto.
Well, fuck. Alright then.
Yeah, that happens a lot with his.
I
got
am
the guns.
Naruto, you fool! Start the match so I can kill the Hyuga prick!
Yes.
Bro,
That's a great reason for starting the match. So it's like, okay, I'm going to commit a murder in broad daylight.
I'm
It's
ready to
sanctioned.
commit murder,
Technically,
yes.
it's not murder. They're allowed to kill each other in these matches.
Yeah, sure,
Yeah,
if they're
well,
not
I mean-
also both, working for the same
I
government.
would just say it's frowned on, sure, but
I mean, he'll definitely be penalized if he kills another Leaf Ninja.
No shit.
Woo! Spicy. And then he threw the Jonin away. And then he looked at the Hokage. And then Hokage goes, oh my god. This person that looks nothing like Naruto, acts nothing like Naruto, and uses a weapon that Naruto doesn't use, is Naruto! He's alive! And so the Hokage says, it's Naruto, start the match.
yes, I agree.
Wait, sir.
no.
hang
This is
on.
when it cut. This is when we get a smash cut to the Hokage's internal thoughts. Oh my god, this is in no way Naruto, but someone's gonna kill Neji. I can't wait.
True. Based.
On one hand, if I recognize him as Naruto, Neji dies. On the other hand, strange person that might have probably killed Naruto showed up.
But I can kill him after he kills Neji.
But Neji dies. This is a hard moral choice.
Don't strain yourself, old man.
I have selected Neji dies. What? It's the real Naruto. Wait, what was the first part? It's the real Naruto? No, before that. I've selected?
decided?
Blah blah blah. Is that really Naruto? Of course it is, you fool! Tell Genma to begin the match now. Why is Sarutobi calling people fools now?
He's had a rough couple of days.
He just really wants Neji dead, apparently, based on our new headcanon here.
Hokage, are you sure this is Naruto? He just said he was gonna kill Neji. He doesn't look anything like Naruto. I fucking said it's Naruto. Start the match now.
He's sitting there and writing a list of other people that he's gonna kill. Maybe he's not Naruto. Wait, who's on that list?
Who's on the list? It's 100% Naruto if it's the people I think.
Yep, there's Sasuke and Kakashi. Let's go.
All right, boom, done. Let's go.
Godspeed, Naruto.
Indeed. I've just received this is Naruto, so I guess we'll start. Doesn't matter how much you've changed over the course of the month. Neji, come on, man. Why do you think this is Naruto? Doesn't matter how much you've changed, Naruto. You would have changed your body type, your hair color, your eye color, your weapon usage, and literally everything else about you. But you're still fated to lose to me. Because you are still Uzumaki Naruto.
Naruto.
Oof. That's...
I am unsure how it's.
Now, see, there's the plot thread for another amazing story, crack one shot, where Naruto never actually ends up training with Jiraiya, and so he has to come up with a different way to defeat Neji. And what he ends up coming up with is he changes his name among other pranks. So when then Neji declares that because he's Uzumaki Naruto, he will always lose to him. And Naruto's just like, actually, my name is Yoshi Gamakura now. And he's a well-to-do ninja who is up and coming in the world and definitely has a bright future ahead of him. So I think he's going to win this match.
Neji blue screen.
I thought you were going to say he finds the ultimate weapon to defeat his rival, a gun.
No, finally, that's at the end. What other tricks did you have this up your sleeve? I've actually used them all. Well, aside from this one, what's that one? This is just a gun.
No, Sneaky. It's just an HMG I found.
Naruto uses his
It's a gun
special.
I found. Wait.
A gun.
A what? A gun. Yeah, I don't know why I have it either. Whatever
the Land
it
of
does.
Snow uses.
Throws it behind him. It hits the ground. Fires into the air. Oh, is that what it does?
For his side special, he
I can
wields
see it now.
a gun.
Naruto finds an HMG. It only has one belt. He discovers that as long as he keeps making shadow clones and never fires, he has infinite ammo.
It is true.
That would be a
Let's do all the
Naruto movie.
firing.
It is true that I am not proficient in this weapon. However, have you considered? Bang, 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 bang. I don't need to be. Secret ninja art. Wall of lead, motherfucker.
No, Sneaky. Secret ninja art. Imperial Guard.
Secret ninja art, the wall of guns.
The what? The what?
The wall
Secret
of
Ninja
guns.
Art, Normandy.
Norman.
Roll up to the beach,
The
just like,
hell's
oh
a
fuck.
Normandy? We don't have many more records.
Honestly,
Would you like to know?
I would be more amused if it was something like Naruto figures out how to apply a duplication seal or some garbage on there and just be like, Yeah, technically, as long as I don't let go of the sugar, it doesn't stop firing.
Oh,
I wonder if I can use this to fly.
so
Points it down.
Points
we know that.
gets
Oh,
another
alright.
one.
So we know the Shadow Clone Jutsu can be used on a single shuriken. Does
Yeah.
that mean each bullet fired because it becomes its own wall of lead if you were to learn how to apply that to items?
Yeah.
Yes.
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 Huh.
Every time you fire one bullet from the gun, you just quickly sudo admin command and be like sudo dupe 10,000.
Yes.
I only
Um,
have
I
one.
obtained my secret ninja bloodline. The Linux command console. I am now unbeatable.
Oh,
Secret
man.
Ninja Art.
You know what?
Command line.
Yeah, you know what? Well, with the Shadow Clone item jutsu, you only need the one belt. That'll last you a while.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
The trick is you aren't allowed to ever fire a shot.
Yeah. Well, I mean, honestly, I think the main problem would be the explosions occurring inside the gun, because the chakra constructs aren't that tough. They kind of get them easily
They go poof.
poof. Yeah.
Right, but
Yeah.
but shadow clones are degraded copies of the original, so theoretically it right and a normal gun can handle a normal bullet. So theoretically the shadow clone gun would handle the shadow clone bullets.
No, not really, because explosions are explosions, and
Yeah, chemistry still works the same.
yeah. And it's not so much a degraded
Is it-
copy as in it's somehow inferior to the original substance, because you can block a shuriken with a shadow shuriken just fine. It's just when it takes damage is when it disappears.
True.
Oh, when it takes too much damage. I think there was a working theory that Shadow Clones can take more damage if you're willing to toughen them up somehow.
And that was
We
a fan
kind of see
theory,
that.
yeah.
Oh, well, I think it became fanon theory because there are panels and shots in the anime where this clone is clearly stuck around longer than it should have. So, yeah, of course, that could always just come down to plot convenience on Kishimoto's part. It's
Yeah.
a very common writing trope that occurs more than it should, if I'm being honest.
Jin
Yeah.
makes a good point.
Yeah. You know,
True,
actually, speaking about that, so yeah, we're pretty much done here. It's just garbage story.
Yes.
Not really much to say.
Secret
about it.
Ninja Art, potato masher.
Yeah. So, I am gonna bring up now the conversation that Gray and I had. Well, I had through Gray with a reviewer.
No way.
Oh no.
Oh yeah. Him.
Yeah, him.
Gray, you sound so excited to know this person.
So SV, so you
Night
already
Moon.
understand.
No, indeed.
uh,
I preface this, and Sneaky, he agrees. He brings up a fair point, but that's about it.
Yeah, the problem is that so basically this guy comes in saying the story is good and all, except he didn't like that we didn't make Taylor's language issue into a
Plot point, essentially.
yeah, he didn't like that we made Taylor's language issue into an easily fixed, single scene solution.
Despite the fact that that happens pretty often in WoW.
Well, yeah. See, that's the thing here. So, he's like, you guys could have really gone places narratively with this. You could have used it in a lot of situations to make, for an interesting story. And he was talking about the story, the narrative implications that could be used for this. And basically, what he wanted us to do with this is he wanted us to make an Overlord Tanya-like situation in where Taylor says to her undead minion, who can speak common or whatever, say this, and then they completely blow it out of proportion. And, true Ainz to Demiurge kind of style. And then when the person responds, they translate it back wrongly as well to make Taylor have the wrong impression of people and what they're saying. And
well, for one, Taylor doesn't need any help interpreting what people are saying in the most negative light possible.
Yes. But see, that's
she
the thing here.
literally killed someone because of it. She choked someone to death with bugs because of that.
Yeah. Well, okay, look, to be fair, Alexandra did in fact say, I'm going to go kill your friends. There really isn't a different way you can interpret that beyond I'm going to go kill your friends.
She did actually say that.
Yep.
Okay,
but
to be fair,
I'm going to go kill your friends in Minecraft.
Yeah.
I would say, to be fair, she did take literally everything that ever came out of Armsmaster's mouth as negatively as possible.
Which, to be fair, he was kind of a dick.
Yeah, yes. But even when he wasn't being a dick.
He was almost always being a dick.
Yeah.
You're picking the wrong examples here.
Alexandria,
you really are.
Alexandria was a Fed poster.
It's true.
Yeah, she Fed posted pretty often. She even pretended to be a Fed for a while.
Cringe.
Well, to be fair, she pretended to be a Fed and completely subverted the entire purpose of the government and the separation of powers, so pretty based.
Anyway, so this guy does bring up good points here. He says he really does dislike this development where Taylor is consuming knowledge from the souls of her enemies. It resolves the problem in a neat circumstance in a least satisfying way, along with her master effect general lack of knowledge about Azeroth and the timing of the incoming invasion. The language barrier was the initial and significant challenge for Taylor to overcome, making it a driving force in the story. Except the problem here is we never made it a driving force in the story. It was actually only even a minor problem overall so far in our story, and where the only time that it actually came up as an actual problem is both hearing the rantings of the Scarlet Crusade, and she was just like, oh, they're ranting at me. I can pretty much guess what they're saying, so I don't really need to figure that one out. And
this actually helps me that they're ranting.
Yeah, and
I mean, you could say there's some nonsensical rants.
Yeah, truly. And then on top of that, there was another situation in where she was in Noxeramis and she had trouble communicating with the other acolytes, which again worked against her overall subtly in a way, where she couldn't actually talk with the rest of the Scourge and was thus getting very siphoned bits of information that they were specifically feeding her. And we used it that way, but it honestly, in the end, as we explained to him, it was never going to be a problem. Because there are so many ways in WoW that the language issue can be solved, and the language issue is glossed over in WoW. Like Death Knights from different species that have no relation in terms of factional alliance, like the fucking Orc Warrior and the Night Elf ex-Rogue, for some reason are able to talk to each other once they both become Death Knights. So there is clearly...
Well, that's handy.
Yeah, there is clearly...
and that doesn't even cover, like, the orcs from another world sailed across the ocean, met the Night Elves, and had a perfectly fine time shit-talking each other.
Also true.
Yes.
Not only that, on top of all of that, they managed to communicate with the Tauren just fine somehow. Because the Tauren apparently learned Orcish or some shit, some fucking how. But, there's other instances where, the Death Knights could read Scourge language, and to everyone else it was gibberish. or the demon hunters could read special demon languages and everyone else was gibberish, and stuff like that, where it's been a constant thing throughout. Well, there is these special languages that only certain people can understand, but it's kind of glossed over because the story is an MMO, it's an RPG, and language isn't really a big focus, because if you put too big of a focus on language in a game, that makes it less fun and less interesting. It's like, oh boy, this person of the language I don't speak is ranting at me again. Too bad I can't understand what the story is. I guess I'll just have to replay this entire thing again with a different character. Yeah.
Pain.
Yeah, it's kind of retarded.
So, yeah. So it just wasn't going to work out in the end. Making Taylor's language issue be a permanent thing. Because then he got... So anyway, he goes on to say, I liked Taylor being unable to speak the language because it was logical that she wouldn't know the local languages, and it flowed naturally with the narrative, but it was not an unsolvable problem that forced the story in different directions. After all, nothing would have stopped Taylor from just using her minions as translators, which could have added good flavor to the story, and would have been debilitating in democracy and diplomacy. And this is the problem here is that, again, we talked about the stuff from the WoW side, where how magical shit's going on to make people speak languages that are just both also ignored, because no one ever really talks about how all the Death Knights can just speak to each other. And so there's clearly some sort of, low-key master effect going on, where you never really question how that night elf, who definitely doesn't speak any of the languages you speak, is somehow perfectly capable of telling you that we need to advance forward and, kill some people over there. Because, there's clearly a language of the dead, and it's clearly understandable by a large portion of people that are dead.
Yep.
Amazing. Dead people die when they are killed.
Yeah, and that's the other thing, is that seemingly... with Shadowlands, Shadowlands actually helped us in this aspect, is seemingly, despite literally everyone who dies ever, period, in, reality, as it's called, the Great Beyond, with all the planets and shit in it, anyone who dies ever, period, ends up in the Shadowlands, in one of these 4 zones in the Shadowlands, and only in these 4 zones in the Shadowlands, and yet they all can seemingly communicate no problem, just fine, and no one ever questions why a species that literally has never even heard of Azeroth, for some reason, can talk to someone from Azeroth without any translation errors.
Mm-hmm.
They're
Don't
just
you know
really
that-
good
don't
at
you know that
charades.
Languages only exist in the real world. They don't exist in media. Clearly,
Yeah.
everyone just speaks English.
So anyway, point being is that on the WoW side,
Everyone
there's already a
speaks
bunch
English
of
when the
reasons
subtitles
why
come out.
language barrier would never really work as a permanent problem. And on the Worm side, it couldn't work as a permanent problem because QA and shards in general, as we explained to him, are built to extract knowledge from the people they're connected to.
They're built different.
And so if Taylor is using a minion to communicate in the language, then she could just extract the knowledge of the language from the minion and communicate herself.
In essence, it was never going to be a problem. Period.
And the only reason why it ever was a problem is because they never got around to fixing it, because there was no ever impetus to fix it. And then once they finally distanced themselves enough from Kel'Thuzad, and once they finally had access to the souls with a nice repertoire of languages at their availability, because that's the other thing, is did we even have Taylor in universe go, wow, I probably could have learned languages from all those people I resurrected, but I didn't really feel like digging around inside their souls for their languages, because I feel really bad for about genociding them. So, I'm not going to dig around in their souls. And then, QA goes and eats some people and is like, well, I have all these souls and I have all this information for you, so here, Taylor. And Taylor's like, oh, okay.
Literally just eats a language at her. That's it.
Here, hold this.
And so, it was never really even going to be a plot hole. Honestly, it'd be a plot hole if we didn't just instantly fix her language issue once it needed to be fixed. because there's no reason
There's
why he
so
would
many
stick around.
ways.
Yeah. And so he goes on to say, we got an answer fix solution that relied on no interaction with the world. She ate people. She ate a lot of people.
She ate an entire noble circle.
She committed what would have
She
been
literally
known as
ate a peerage.
serial cannibalism.
Like, the souls of all of them. Execute, like, the entire command structure, she ate.
Base.
And those aren't going to the Shadowlands.
Yeah.
They go to the Shadow Realm.
Taylor could have been grafted the knowledge from Kel'Thuzad from the start. I mean, yeah, they certainly could have, but at the same time, why would you give knowledge to some creature that you've just summoned out of the void?
A creature that you have no idea what it is beyond it's old.
Like, say you're fishing, right, and like you catch something, you're reeling it up and you're just like it's a blob of indescribables, and I don't know what to do with it, and then you're like, wait, hold on, what if I put it in this bucket first? And you're like, oh, maybe maybe I make sure the bucket is acid proof first, and maybe I make the bucket sure it doesn't catch on fire easily first. Maybe I make it a double bucket. In fact, actually, just in case it starts like eating through the bucket or something. Like you don't just be like, I wonder what it tastes like, and you start taking a bite out of it like that. No, you're just like, okay, we'll put it in the bucket first, see what the fuck's going on with whatever this is, and then we'll work out from there.
See what happens to the bucket, and then you can go from there.
Yeah, and so it's just like, why would Kel'Thuzad give a creature that he doesn't know the nature of any knowledge of his world so they're not wholly dependent upon him?
The answer is it's Kel'Thuzad.
Yeah.
He literally strung Arthas along the exact same way.
Literally. And it's just like, bruh.
It worked on Arthas. It'll work on whoever this is. Although, to be fair, Arthas is not the sharpest
And the
knife in
only
the
thing
drawer,
that would have
as we discovered.
changed with Taylor understanding the pontificating of the Scarlet Crusade commander. Yeah, which is why we didn't do it, because it didn't make sense to do it in the start. So we didn't. And what did it change? Nothing. So we didn't do it. The guy is literally making art points for us, but is trying to use that as a reason why we should have. Like, oh, you should have given her the knowledge because it would have changed nothing. It's like, the argument can just literally be turned around and it makes more sense in our direction.
Word bloat.
Literally. To clarify, I don't see anything about this as a plot hole. So, like we said, he does admit that it's not a plot hole, and he does admit that he overall enjoys the story, he just didn't like this aspect. But it is disappointing when an insert solves their issues in a rich world of Azeroth, such a in-house instead of actual interaction. It's disappointing when someone traveling to Azeroth from another series manages to use their powers to solve an issue they're having instead of relying on everyone in Azeroth to do it for them.
Megamind.
If her learning the language from QA happened several months into the narrative, it did.
It happened like a month in?
No, it was like 2 months, I think we calculated, because she got summoned 2 months before.
She got summoned a month before the initial invasion. Then it was a couple weeks. It's been like 2 weeks
it was
between.
it was like a month.
It's a month and a half.
Yeah, it was like a month and a week, a month and a half that she got the language thing. When it was actually relevant for her to start knowing languages, she got the languages.
Mm-hmm.
Weird how that works. It's almost like Taylor's kind of competent.
What?
Wow.
No
Wild
way, bro.
idea. I know. Hell.
That's not possible.
It could have even
This is
fueled
Taylor.
interesting interaction with characters and factions she previously struggled to talk with, and then she suddenly gained the knowledge. Well,
What faction? She is Scourge.
Yeah.
Everyone hates the Scourge.
Yeah, like literally no one's going to talk to Wraith and be like, we should have meaningful dialogue with this clear, super-powered necromancer.
Literally, she has a flee on sight or kill on sight order.
What could
That is
possibly go wrong
literally
here?
her thing.
Listen, that's clearly just a misunderstanding.
Other than that, the lack of work games with Dreadlord is also the same, but I like the replacement. Blah 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 blah. Yeah, so he talks about some other stuff.
I almost killed myself going down the stairs by sneezing.
Nice, excellent.
Okay.
Finish the job.
So
You know, I've been dizzy all day, and I was
Finish
going
the
down the
job.
stairs. I sneezed. The sneeze made me super dizzy, and then I almost fell down the stairs.
nice.
Do it again.
Thanks,
Bomber
Brain.
Harris.
Thanks, Brain.
You know what's a good time to do right now? Stop all bodily functions. Brain, we are
What if we
currently
just-
on an incline. Stop all bodily functions.
No, not just we're on an incline. Sneaky. For us, it's even worse than usual because we are on an incline, and we don't know where we are on the incline.
Yeah, true. True, big true. And so anyway, we explain all of this to him. And he goes, well, I guess your explanations make sense. Although I note where I presented the language issue as a storytelling thing, your explanations are merely mechanical and logistical focused. It's like, yes, we can't do the storytelling because logistically it's not possible. And we even give him an example of, like, it's like saying say Superman's in a situation, something's going on, but he's around a bunch of people right now. And he can't exactly, use his super strength because he's trying to keep his cover. But, no one's in danger yet directly, so he's like, okay, it's still okay for me to keep my cover, because that's what Superman does. He's
All
like,
right,
okay.
time to find a phone booth.
Yeah, once I can get away from everyone, I'll just change out and solve the issue, but no one's in danger yet, so I still have time so we can get everyone moving.
Plus, there's a bunch of really subtle ways Superman can interfere.
Right, exactly.
Up to and including moving faster than the human eye can perceive.
Right, and that's the thing though, is like, then at a certain point, the test of strength stops being a test of strength because he no longer has to hide. He finally gets away, or someone finally gets in danger, or he actually has to directly intervene in a in a visible fashion. And now he's like, all right, change out, let's go. And then it stops being a test of strength. It's like, it's no longer a trial anymore, because it was never a problem for Superman in the first place. It just wasn't an immediate concern. That's just how it is.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, well, you still should have gone forward with it, even if it doesn't make sense. It's like,
Bruh.
why would we go forward with an issue that doesn't make mechanical or logistical sense solely so we can have it be a storytelling, keystone? It's like,
More difficult.
yeah, right? Like, yeah, let's just give everyone the fucking idiot ball for the next 20 chapters so we can have Taylor blunder around being unable to speak languages. That's gonna make the story better? Now that she can't speak the languages anymore, that's somehow gonna make the story better? It's like, bro.
Apparently so.
What are we, Taylor Varga?
Right? What are we, Taylor Varga? Indeed. Perhaps this is a consequence of storyboarding when putting the content up in chapters, as an editor would have clearly told you to make this issue an issue and wouldn't have allowed mechanical or logistical issues to get in the way of it.
I've been an editor for Sneaky. I'd have told him to stop that shit if he tried it, depending on the story.
Well, I mean,
So-
it's not only that, it's like any editor worth their salt would have told you to not put that in. Because there's already a bunch of shit in there that contradicts it as an issue. So they'd be
Yeah,
like, okay, don't.
Yeah.
Or, or if it's like I'm sending you an entire book of an original story, and like a majority of my story is based around this point where the character doesn't speak the language, and I've also put in a bunch of ways to, for them to speak the language in, but they never do it. You as an editor, Max, would probably be like, well, Sneaky, you gotta pick one. Are they able to learn the language, or are they not able to learn the language? You either have to remove this stuff where they can learn the language using whatever powers are available in the story, or you have to stick with how they can't.
You would get a very upset series of messages saying, pick something or you're fired.
Right, effectively. Yeah, it's just like... Any editor would have told you to put the storytelling issue in.
I'm going to say this.
Bruh.
Any editor worth their salt would judge the story that you're wanting to tell and would go, okay, either do this because it's good for the story or don't do this because it's bad. If any editor tells you to do the language thing for this story, from what I understand of the story you two are writing,
Yeah.
I'd fire that editor.
Yeah.
Even though they're not being paid.
Yeah, it's why we're not even. That's why I didn't even bother responding to him past this point, because he clearly just wants an Overlord Tanya-esque situation to occur with Taylor, and it already kind of is occurring with Taylor, where with her minions being really fucking weird, but she's
Really
not
weird,
having,
really fanatical.
Yeah, she's not having communication issues with anyone. She's just, all of her actions are being taken really disproportionately. Yes, sure, she did nuclear bomb some ships, but that was to make them turn around.
The warning shot,
We only bombed them.
We only bombed 9 of the 41 ships.
They were
okay.
annihilated.
We only removed 6 sets of grid coordinates from the planet, guys.
Guys, it was just 9 solar lasers. Calm down.
Guys, they were just
I don't see the
one
problem,
set,
Sneaky.
yeah.
It was only 62 railguns multiplied by 8.
Alright, guys, I'm gonna put a double triple barrel gun right here. A what? Double triple?
I think my
only-
favorite
only
was
one?
the point where Sneaky and I had the double triple barrel scatter shot railgun war, and after 4 turns of that, the game just quit.
Yeah.
I liked when I nuked Arn's equator. That was
Yeah.
great.
The fucking
Yeah.
equator just deleted.
It's just gone. Yeah, last we played Grave, we got kind of bad as well. Though I was
Yes.
the only one doing the sneaky railguns.
I tried doing it, and then you just murdered them all.
Yeah.
So I just went back to asteroids.
No, see,
Yeah.
that's why you gotta put them on all different sides of the planet. Listen,
I did.
every hemisphere needs to be capable of just spewing railguns.
So what I think we should do
He
next...
killed them all.
I think what we
Yep.
should do next is we should do super weapons only.
Oh god.
No.
Are you sure you want to do that? Because I've proven time and time again that I will always have enough by round 5 to buy whatever I want.
Well,
Are you
sure.
sure you want to give me a situation in which, Max, your mining skills are handy now?
Yes.
No, what we should do is give everyone like a million resources, and then 4 turns to just build only super weapons.
Big brain.
I'd be down.
Anyway,
Sure.
so let's see, blah 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 blah. Even then, even if we accept language is not a factor in Taylor's interaction with the living because she wouldn't be interacting with them yet, how many undead are even aware that this is a thing? Not many
All of
undead.
them.
Some of the living are aware that the language of the dead is a thing, but none of the undead are actually like paying attention to the fact that they're speaking the same language. Because I tried to recall, the
Literally
answer's
the only
none.
one.
Yeah.
They're the only one is Gothic, which he's an abnormal
Not even
one.
Thessa or the Kaldori are cognizant of the fact that they're communicating with someone they previously couldn't. And yeah, it's because they're all being like demi-mastered.
And
like-
Dessa never actually interacted with her, or while she was alive, because she got killed by
Yeah,
Sigvald here.
yeah, that too. So basically, none of the creatures none of the people he names were ever in situations where they had a comparison moment. because none of them were alive before they interacted with Taylor. So they
I
literally.
don't know what it is, but she got her soul ripped out. So
well, she got her
not
soul
fair.
ripped out, and then she kind of got bloodborne maximum insight in the span of like a single second from looking at QA.
Yes,
That sounds horrifying.
she went full fanatical.
It was like, all right, well, that was a giant ass moon, and I'm the religion of the moon, so I'm just gonna go fucking insane. BRB.
Back in 1,000 years, don't mind me.
1,000 years for her, 1 second outside.
Pretty much. And well, again, there's no plot hole there. Yeah, because we made sure there was no plot holes there. I do not believe this is ideal from a storytelling angle. You don't believe that all of her mastered undead are unaware that they're being mastered is a good storytelling angle?
I'm not seeing the issue,
Yeah,
if I'm
it's
being
just-
honest.
most undead aren't typically aware that they're, being controlled because that's.
They're either mindless or they enjoy doing it.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's usually the magic in doing it for them. But, like, literally the entire. Like, this is the problem, Max, is in WoW, when you pick a Death Knight class, your tutorial zone is you, an ex-hero. This is all canon. You are an ex-hero who was killed by the bad guys and resurrected to fight for the bad guys. And your tutorial zone is burning a village down, slaughtering civilians, and killing your friend. And then at the end, you realize you're being controlled and that you should stop doing bad things.
By the way, the whole murder thing is like Tanya using the Type 95 Gleeful.
Yeah.
Like, this is great, ha ha ha, look at all the stupid people die, ha ha ha, I'm so great, this is awesome, murder is the best.
Yeah, literally.
I should note, having played it
on their
like
tongue,
8
yeah.
times, that
Yeah.
you have the highest kill count of the entire order
Yeah.
at close to about, if we use the measurements me and Sneaky did, over 2,000
Yeah, it was 2,000
confirmed
people.
kills.
Yeah.
So, what I'm getting from this is this person either hasn't actually done any deep diving into WoW,
Quite possible, and likely.
or it's
Well,
like some people I've seen with
the
stories say like,
problem-
I love that the story's point is this, when the story literally tells them
Well,
it's
Max,
actually this.
the problem is that the expansion pack we're writing this story about happened 10 years ago. So it's really possible that this person is a
I
teenager.
thought it was 13.
Oh, fuck, it is 13. So it's really,
Oh,
really
okay.
possible. It's really, really possible that this person was like 5 when this expansion pack came out.
Oh,
They-
okay, so this is just a boomer versus zoomer problem. then.
They
Yeah,
might no.
Possibly.
Sneaky,
Possibly.
Yeah.
let me make it even sadder for you. They might not even know that Warcraft was an RTS.
That is actually a fair point, yeah.
Yes.
And while again, there's no
It's
plot hole in
incredibly
this.
sad, but entirely likely.
So in the end, the knowledge is only so in the end, the fact that Taylor cannot communicate with people normally is only held in the hands of a bunch of Scourge higher-ups and Mal'Ganis, which I kind of think is funny. And I suppose his retinue, but were they even raised? Was Mal'Ganis' retinue raised? I don't think they were.
I think the priests were, but it's something that Taylor didn't really take much time to look at.
I don't
because
really think she
ba-
bothered, like, remembering.
She was more focused on stripping Mal'Ganis down to the soul.
Yeah. Of these, only Chillwind is likely to complain about his circumstances. Well,
Kinda, but not really, because
Not really.
he got left in charge of the entire tundra,
yeah.
which is a big step up from being in charge of a single necropolis.
I
Which,
would say,
funnily
if
enough,
anything,
has blown
he'd be.
up.
Yes. I would say, if anything, he would be thrilled.
Literally, god damn it, they took my necropolis and I'm in charge of this giant tundra now. I missed that necropolis. Explosions in the distance. Never
I don't
mind.
mind
I'm
that
so
necropolis
glad
so
that
much.
I'm no longer in that
Wow,
necropolis.
I sure am glad I'm now the captain of the tundra.
This promotion wasn't so bad.
You know what? Maybe this promotion was a good thing.
Still hate that girl's guts, but
Wow, I hate her, but man, she is making it really easy to climb the ladder. Because everyone else is dead.
It's really easy to climb the ladder when everyone else is dead.
On a final note of this issue, since linguistics was solvable by QA even before they learned of souls, maybe have them raise that in their earlier talks. They did. Taylor was
I don't think this
acutely aware.
Taylor was acutely aware from the first get-go.
And QA
She
could
just
have
didn't
reassured
care.
her on this front. I'll compile something within a couple weeks, don't worry. Oh, that's what QA was supposed to say.
Yeah,
QA was really fucking busy trying not to be a decaying moon in dying orbit.
That trying to figure out necrotic or death, trying to figure out stellar.
Cosmic, trying to
and-
figure out like a whole bunch of shit. Literally, it was like we put a entire football field's lines of cocaine in front of a cocaine addict, and then you're shocked that the cocaine addict spent the entire time snorting cocaine instead of doing his essay. It's like, yeah, it's because there was a bunch of fucking cocaine over there, and they're addicted to it. So they did
Why
a
wouldn't
bunch of
they?
cocaine.
True.
Without triggering master effects. Then it'd at least be foreshadowed instead of the solution just dropping out of the sky. I mean, it's a pretty worm thing to happen, though.
Yeah.
The solution just showing up. Just saying.
Yeah, he was called Scion.
The solution.
The final solution, one might even say.
Oh,
Listen, I normally don't go this path, but he had a solution for literally everything.
Yeah, this is true.
Yes.
Shoot a giant beam of death at it is pretty much a worldwide solution.
And you know what? He even wanted to host his own retirement party.
And
A
then he
lot
can
of people
basically...
initiative.
Then he spends the rest of the response going into how Arthas was basically trying to set himself up to die. And he even talks about Warcraft 3, which really makes me unsettled, because that means he remembers Wrath of the Lich King as the expansion, but doesn't actually get any of the information about Wrath. You know what? Actually, on consideration, this entire section looks like he just read a Reddit post about Arthas. You
Which he
know?
may have.
And then just kind of like copy pasted it, because I feel like he's so knowledgeable about how Arthas set himself up to fail, and then doesn't see any of that happening in our story.
yep. On top of that, it also thinking that that's the actual thing, because his thing is
yeah.
on her donning the crown,
Yeah,
which why the fuck would she?
yeah. It's so weird. It's just
People keep thinking that and not really understanding.
But yeah.
It's
So anyway,
sad.
that was that loquacious guy. Do we have any other good
Amazing.
reviews? I think we responded to.
Lately, no, because it's been like 2 months.
Yeah, shockingly. I don't want to hear about it.
Because you spent 2 fucking
Oh.
months writing a 45-page chapter.
Oh no,
It's almost 44.
It's almost.
I'm
yes,
sorry, but like,
Close
like
enough.
he says 2 months, like us begins like, I don't know, man. Steak and I are still technically going on 7 years now.
7 fucking years, Max. I'll call you on our decade anniversary.
All right, Sneaky,
Max,
you
it's
ready
been
to
10
write?
years.
Maybe tomorrow.
Max, it's been 20 years. It's been 50 years since we worked on it. Sneaky, fanfiction.net shut down. Also, stop doing that voice.
Oh god. Reminds me of fucking some guy from Ace Combat, Captain Torres. 1 million lives. It's great.
So, anyway, the next story for the night is Harry Potter Sherlock Holmes.
Excellent. I wish for death.
Granted.
This isn't going to go well because I've learned the hard way that there's a surprising number of people who do not understand what makes Sherlock Holmes so interesting.
Yes,
I try to write for it.
and don't worry. It gets
you know-
worse.
It's honestly amazing that Fate Grand Order made a really good version of Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
They didn't
Yeah.
fuck it up. He's actually super on point.
You know, they should also include Watson in the next run for next year,
Amelia.
and just have it be fucking Ame.
I
Amelia.
Wait, you were a
Watson.
girl this whole time? Hick. Yep.
Yep.
It's me, Uncle Watts, or Uncle Sherlock.
Oh no. Oh yeah,
You
we
know
got a
what?
new doctor in. What do you mean we got a new doctor in? Yeah, we summoned a servant and she's a doctor. She's a doctor. What's her name? Dr. Watson. Oh no.
No, 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 no!
We gotta give you her concoction.
She's been giving everyone inoculations. Oh god.
Oh no.
You know what?
Uh,
I appreciate the idea that Watson did have a daughter, and unfortunately, Sherlock was still on his cocaine kick when he babysat her from time to time.
You see, one day, Ame got her hands on some cocaine, and boy, did it give her ideas.
yeah.
She made her own substance.
After, like, his
I mean,
because
like,
she couldn't get the
li-
cocaine.
Literally the first time she ever streamed. Well, that's Ame, of course.
Yes.
She drugged us.
Yes.
So yeah, that's not surprising in the slightest.
People have mixed opinions about her claim that she basically doesn't remember what she did. And I actually believe her because I've definitely have
Yeah.
been in times where I have been so fucking tired and so stressed out that I don't even remember like the past 24 hours of whatever I did. But apparently, from all my friends, I acted like super erratically and was just spitting gibberish and was completely nonsensical for half the time.
So business as usual then.
Yeah, but at the same time, I'm pretty sure Max, were you there for that? The time I tried to
What?
stay up for as long as possible.
I was there for the time he had 4 hours of sleep over the course of 72 hours for finals. and I
Yeah,
kept saying,
that
"Sneaky,
was
go to
that was
sleep.
all. Yeah, I was fucking
Sneaky,
gibberish.
go to sleep.
I was
Sneaky, why are you awake? Stop writing."
literally incoherent.
No, you were actually really coherent during that.
I don't remember any of it.
I'm sure you don't,
You'll
but I
forget.
definitely remember saying, "Sneaky, please, for the love of God, go to sleep."
And the only thing I do remember, however, is me going, but I have a test in 2 hours.
Oh,
I believe my response was, "Then take 30 minutes, jackass."
That sounds exactly like. a
But if I fall
conversation.
asleep, I will go to sleep for hours and miss it.
Yeah.
I have surpassed the point of naps. If I close my eyes, only death awaits me.
Only the eternal sleep.
Sneaky's looking to break the Van Winkle record.
Oh no, who it was? No, it was Bogoff and Rob. They were the ones that saw me in 2010, I believe, where I tried to stay up for as long as possible. And apparently, according to one of them, I was. Oh, and Trevor. According to Trevor, I was just saying words. I was like, chairfish, fly. And we were playing Dota. I don't know why he thought it was a good idea to play Dota with me.
I think he just wanted to see what would happen.
That's a fair point. But apparently I would just like run in circles and like throw spells at units and shit, and I would just shout words, unconnected words into the mic.
I mean, you can do that in Dota.
Okay, so apparently the longest a human has stayed up is 264 hours.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus
11
Christ.
days.
Oh.
Some kid named Randy Gardner did this in 1965.
Yeah, I only got the 5 days. And that was with a lot of caffeine. That was with an unholy
So here's
amount
the
of
thing. I
caffeine.
want to take someone who's been up for like 6 days, strap a VR headset on them, and then just see what happens. Put them in VR chat.
You are
Put
an
them in VR chat.
asshole.
You are the best, worst sort of doctor.
Oh my god, it's you don't understand. Listen, give me a $10,000 grant. This will work.
Look, I'm still just impressed these scientists.
Just run them through the gamut of VR game. Like,
Yeah,
just like right, an hour in VR chat, an hour in Blade and Sorcery, and like an hour in what's like the climbing parasite
oh Jesus
hang
Christ!
gliding
Oh
one?
my God! Oh Christ! Fucking someone with 6 days of no sleep doing the paraglide VR. That is.
You are a cruel person,
That
and I
is-
approve
That is
wholeheartedly.
excessive.
For the last hour, you just put them in a fucking. It's just VR Call of Duty campaign.
That's how you get some real PTSD.
Yeah, make them do freaking Pavlov or something. That's how you get the real PTSD going. Here's your gun, go, go, go.
No, better
Grab
yet,
the
Sneaky.
gun. Go,
Sneaky.
go, go.
Literally becomes the meme. Literally becomes the meme.
Oh.
I don't know who I am. I don't know why I'm here. All I know is I must kill.
Sneaky. 6 days of sleep deprivation. Now loading Imperial Guardsman Simulator.
Yeah.
The orcs are coming, Guardsmen! Pick up your
Okay.
las gun!
Alright, I'm gonna be real. If the upcoming Left 4 Dead style Guardsman game comes out, like by the way, there's a VR mode.
Ooh, is there?
I might be hooking that up.
Ooh.
If that's a thing, I might hook that up because like I need to
They
know.
might make that a separate game, if they're doing that sort of thing.
I'll pay it.
You know what?
Done.
If they were brave, they'd allow me to play with my VR headset while you guys are playing mouse and keyboard.
I've got a VR headset.
Oof. Man, I
Great,
can't wait.
so
I can't wait for Hardlight, because once you get Hardlight, you can bring back the arcades. You know, you get a Hardlight room that reacts to the VR headset you put on, and so
hell yes.
like the barriers and walls and shit form up in front of you in real time, so you can actually lean against them and peek around. That would be cool shit, you know. I would definitely spearhead any sort of development like that. Hell, Christ! I mean, if VR headsets get cheap enough, you could probably even just have a preset room or like multiple preset rooms that people could rent out and do like some wild alien fighting maze sort of shit in them, you know.
Oh, I
But-
promise you, there are people already working
VR
on that right
arcades
now.
are already a thing. Yeah.
Are they really?
Yeah, but
yeah.
not, here's the thing, not to the
Many
level
places.
Sneaky's talking about.
I mean, yeah, sure, it's not like full on. Like, okay, we built you a maze and you can go around with the VR headset. But it is like you can come here and try out the VR headset for cheap.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
well, and
no,
those are the
no. I
places that
mean
are also
like
like, hey,
full
we
on,
have this.
like laser
treadmill.
tag, except augmented reality with the VR headset. You know, so it's like
Yeah.
the walls are still there, but now you can like change the theming on them. You're inside a ship. You're inside a nest. You're inside a cave. And you could do a whole bunch of really creative shit with that. Because
Yeah, it
everyone's
just needs to
wearing
be a
sensors
bit
and-
more.
Yeah, it just needs to
Yeah.
be cheaper. Really, that's at the end of the day. It
I
just needs to
mean,
be cheaper.
actually, with the fucking Oculus, what's it called?
Shit, do you think I
Quest.
could like pitch this
Oculus
to a
Quest
Saudi?
2.
Do you think I
Yeah,
could
the
pitch this
Quest.
to like a Saudi prince and actually
I mean,
get this
probably,
like
yeah.
produced?
Yeah.
Go
but, like,
pitch
with
go
the- with
pitch
the
it to the one that
Quest-
bought SNK.
Yeah,
Maybe it needs better like cameras.
yeah.
Depending on how you pull it
It-
off. But yeah, it's
It still
fully
has some
possible with
work
current
to
day
do.
tech.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
it also needs like quite a bit of work on the sensor still. Me being 6'2", my arm span is almost exactly that, which means sometimes when I'm doing Beat Saber, my saber on the right side and left side just disappear if I go too far.
Oof.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Can't relate.
Uh,
Of
Then
course you
again,
can't.
only played like well, the original Rift, which has, you know,
the dev kit.
proper. No, not the dev kit.
Okay.
The
So
first.
I'm sorry. I'm
The
one of
first
those people
version.
when you see the original, I'm like, oh yeah, I've still got my dev kit. It's like, wait, no,
Yeah.
that though.
Anyway,
Yeah,
so,
not the dev kit. The first consumer version.
this is a study in magic by the Book of Change. When Professor McGonagall went to visit Harry Watson, oh Jesus Christ.
Oh no. I'm already not happy.
Yeah.
You are truly accursed among the Lord.
Son of Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson.
How?
Ah, I see.
Get that?
It's one of the yaoi fans.
I would say, listen,
Or wait,
if I don't hear that Watson was like
if you
Oh,
read
five,
the
6,
warning,
and
Oh,
big
this
titties.
is BBC Sherlock. I'm pretty sure Watson's female in that one.
There's been a bunch of
No.
BBCs.
but in this version,
In
maybe
the
because they
author's
said in
note,
the
they did.
No, this is.
yeah.
Oh wait, this is published November 2011. Never mind.
Oof.
It's also
Yeah.
completed in 2018. They wrote this They wrote this. They wrote 500,000 words in 7 years, which is honestly impressive.
It does not make them less accursed
not
among the
bad.
Lord.
No, it doesn't make it less cursed, but it does make it impressive. And they I guess they can,
Yeah.
you can kind of say they do earn their 8,000 favorites.
I mean,
Because-
it's no fate's gamble, but then
It's
again, what is
500,000 fucking words, and that's a lot
Yeah.
of effort, you know.
good on them?
Now, if only they could have turned their minds to, say, original fiction and produce something of, note, that would have been great.
Yeah, produce something of value.
As
In
Gray
this
and I are
society.
trying to figure out the perfect formula.
Godspeed.
That's houses and stones.
Indeed. But, at
So
least Gray and I are
difficult.
making the effort. This guy has probably moved
Yes.
on.
Undoubtedly.
But anyway, so point being is that I definitely really would have loved to do that crack story. Max, hey Max, do you want to write a story, Max?
Oh no, you're gonna throw him this one?
Yeah, hey, remember that thing I sent you yesterday?
Wait,
Oh my
yeah,
god.
I'm gonna have to look back through our stuff to.
And I'll summarize it really quick for you. So Izuku doesn't get a quirk and doesn't get one for all. Instead, he meets someone at a young age that tells him they believe in his dream of being a hero, and so that they should believe in them who believes in him. And so he starts working out a
yeah.
bunch, and then proceeds to go through the Simone arc and the Kamina arc of becoming a hero through sheer willpower, determination, and somehow the ability to suddenly punch things way harder than he should be able to.
Based.
Because who the hell do you think he is?
Sneaky. And on that day, Izuku was visited by the Emperor of Mankind and
Indeed.
told, "You shall be a space marine."
I'm gonna be honest. The idea of him accidentally unlocking spiral energy is entertaining because, like, all right, let's see what the quirk. He's missing the bone. He doesn't have a quirk. What the fuck?
Quick, fucking DNA test him. All right, we DNA test. What's his quirk? Is it somehow related to what he's doing? No, he doesn't have one. What do you mean he doesn't have one? He doesn't have one. He literally just punched a thing and physics stopped working temporarily.
I mean, that's basically how orcs work. Spiral energy is in fact orc energy just for humans.
Indeed. And so,
Yes.
but the great part about spiral energy is you can have humor moments where it's like Izuku gets hungry and he can't fight on an empty stomach, so he can't, he can't beat the bad guy at the moment. He's got to get a sandwich first.
Yep. Unfortunate. That's just how it be.
BRB, need to get a BLT.
Exactly, you know, it would be a funny story, and Gray could cover all the combat, and you just need to write all the stuff that, you know, where everyone's happy, and, you know, the stuff that I can't write, and the stuff that Gray can't write either.
I don't do happy. Even
Yeah,
if
you know, all the
get rid of
parts where
all of my
everyone's
problems.
happy and not fucked up.
The things that I am doing to zero-sum games, Luis.
Yeah, I tortured
Yeah.
Aura a little bit yesterday as well, in the writing section where I did how it
Yes.
started, how it ended with
Yes.
OSTs.
Yeah.
One thing was just Golden Wind for 25 hours.
Yeah, Sneaky as Ruby, Golden Wind for 25 hours.
Makes sense.
Yeah, here we go. Zero-sum game, how it started, Water Flame Glorious Morning, how it ended, why are we still here, Kaz speech.
Yes.
Oh no!
Yeah.
It is
Oh
bad.
god, no!
He's bad.
I did some other ones. Oh yeah, how this there's some OC character we were talking about. Yeah. Let's see. What character? Oh yeah, the woodsman. How this random ass woodsman in Zero Game story. How his story started. Doom Eternal. The only thing they fear is you. How his story ended. Undertale. His theme.
Oh. Oh man.
Yes.
Yeah. Certified bro moment.
Punch Drunk Grinning Soul. How it started. Pokemon. On the road to Viridian City. How it ended. You say Ron goes with everything. Gurren Lagann style. I'm not wrong.
Nope.
No,
Now,
I'm
man,
just mildly upset.
Excellent. Working as intended.
I'm glad I've been introduced to this idea of how it started, how it ended.
I have tortured Aura so much in the last 72 hours.
Indeed.
Hmm.
Anyway, so
Man,
I've made a
seriously.
blue screen like 6 times.
when Professor McGonagall visits Harry Watson to deliver his Hogwarts letter, she was in the mindset of performing a familiar, if stressful, annual routine. Consequently, she was not prepared to find Harry Potter at 22 Baker Street, BBC Sherlock Harry Potter crossover AU. Warning! This is a BBC Sherlock and Harry Potter crossover AU. The Harry Potter timeline has been shifted forward, and the BBC timeline has been shifted backwards, so they can align perfectly. Yeah, again, someone in post, insert the fucking sneaky rant about Harry Potter timeline shifting.
Yeah.
You know, that's a fucking 2-hour rant I have every single time an author shifts the timeline forward without a fucking care in the world. One major BBC Sherlock character's gender has been changed for the sake of the plot. Also, I love how their gender has been changed. So, what, Watson just identifies as a woman now?
Well, this is 2011, so no, it likely is straight up a gender bend.
Max. I'm aware. I'm just saying that gender has never been the same thing as sex, and the whole concept of modern gender comes from a rapist pedophile, and I kind of never really appreciated gender being a word that people use.
True.
So anyway. Speaking of rapist pedophiles, how about the German government?
True.
Yeah, turns out 40-year study from the German government about what happens when you rape kids for their entire childhood. Turns out it doesn't make more functional members of society. the German
Damn,
government.
who knew?
Yeah, the German government realized this after 40 years.
Kind of weird how that works, but alright.
Yeah,
Right.
it's really
That-
weird how
That little experiment.
yeah, little
Yeah, I mean, it was started by the communist Germans, which
yeah.
fair enough, makes sense.
It's really
Communist
weird how
rapist.
communists and fascists constantly want children to be sexually ready.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting.
Yeah, I will say that's definitely a thing the left seems to share with every ideology they have.
Hey, consistency is key to getting your user base in there, Sneaky.
They definitely have their user base. They definitely have their user base. And their user base is children, which is what the user base is excited about. Oh, San Francisco gay choir.
The less we speak of them, the better, I feel.
Pretty much. Blah, 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 blah. So when Professor McGonagall, blah, 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 literally just copy-paste, consequently, blah, 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 copy-pasted, blah, 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 lightning safe shard. So shocked was she at the sight of them, she turned around, dashed into the nearest hidden corner, and vanished, leaving a confused Harry standing behind the threshold. What? 10 minutes later, she barged into the office of Albus Dumbledore. Blah, 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 blah. Literally, the author's adding blah, blah, blahs in here. He's literally doing it. Dumbledore stared in quite astonishment as the normally prim and proper McGonagall was heaving on his desk. Giggity. Blah, 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 blah. Her black summer jacket half-buttoned, her silk blouse crumpled. And she was still wearing her skirt. That's a really weird detail to mention. She was still
wouldn't
wearing
normally
her
be?
skirt. Yeah.
Would she
Yeah?
not normally be?
Normally, when McGonagall's heaving on his desk, she's not wearing his skirt.
God damn it.
Ayo! And the entire time, he's thinking, thank God she's flat.
If I squint, I can pretend it's a little boy.
Flip it.
It's gonna squint really damn hard.
Okay, look, nothing will ever be as bad as Gura excitedly shouting "bussy" at the top of her lungs.
Oh, by the way, so I'm reading up on this kid's sleep deprivation
Yeah.
experiment. His attempt was recorded by Stanford sleep researcher Dr. William C. Dement, while his house was monitored by Lieutenant Commander John J. Ross.
Okay.
A log was kept by two of his classmates from his high school. Accounts of his sleep deprivation experience and the medical response became widely known among the sleep community. Yes, I imagine they did because he stayed up for 11 days.
The sleep community?
Indeed. The community of
I mean,
people
I
who
assume they
sleep.
just mean the researcher, like...
Yeah, sleep researchers.
Oh yeah, so this
Extreme
is the
sleep
community of
deprivation
people
has
who
little
sleep.
effect other than the mood changes associated with tiredness.
I don't know. I definitely get pretty delirious when I don't have enough sleep.
Yeah,
It's
I was
just
gonna
like
say.
always.
So far, the noted effects include concentration issues,
Yeah.
short-term memory,
Yeah.
paranoia, and hallucinations.
Yeah, that sounds like all of mine issues, and I don't get any sleep at all ever. So it's
Oh boy! On the 11th day, he started. He was asked to subtract 7 repeatedly, starting with 100. He stopped at 65. When asked why he had stopped, he'd forgotten what he was doing.
Damn.
Yeah, so all right, I'm not gonna make that joke until after I turn this mic off. Arden knows.
Yeah.
Holy shit! He slept for 14 hours and 40 minutes
Oh,
after
so on a normal
completing the
Saturday.
record. Yeah.
Yeah. Even for me, that's pretty normal.
Yes, Minerva?
Jesus.
Albus.
Oh my god. No, I'm sorry. I want to point out a
Yeah.
human being stayed up for 11 hours straight, and after
Well, 11 hours.
14
yeah.
hours
11 days.
after 11 days, sorry, after 14 hours of sleep one day, and then another 10 hours the next day, 100% normalized.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that kid was just a weird quirk of evolution.
What the hell, human body?
You know, the human
It'd be
body
like
works
that.
in mysterious ways.
Well, I mean,
Works towards
also,
logic.
again, I would just like to remind everyone we are a predator-based species that evolved off of the idea of literally just outlasting whatever we're chasing.
Yep.
If we just
Yep.
make them too tired to chase us, to run away,
Yeah.
we win.
Yeah.
Exactly.
If we just keep chasing them until they drop from exhaustion, then it's super easy to kill them. It's like, well, yes, technically that is true, but that sounds like a lot of work. No, it's super easy, barely an inconvenience.
We just have to keep walking in their general direction.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Menacingly.
Indeed.
I'm sorry, Albus, blah,
No,
blah,
Sneaky,
you know,
the
blah, blah,
entire
blah.
time, humans were misunderstood. They just wanted to borrow a cup of sugar.
Indeed. Then I went to visit Mr. Harry Watson. Watson opened the door for me. Oh, wait, Mr. Watson opened the door for me? So you made Sherlock a girl? Why?
Young Mr. Watson.
Oh, young
Hmm.
Mr. Watson.
Still referring to Harry.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
she's like 100 fucking years old. Any normal human couple is young to her.
Well. Yeah, but in this
Specifically
case,
called him by
she's
name. There's still enough
spec-
context there, Sneaky.
yeah, that's a bit of a stretch, my guy.
Look, nobody's
Anyway.
ever accused Sneaky of intelligence.
Okay, look, I've had like
True.
four.
did
Okay,
once,
look, I've had
and
4
only
shots
once.
of like 70%. I don't want to fucking hear it. Okay. You'll
I don't want to
forgive
fucking
me
defense
for
rests-
skipping.
The defense rests, Your Honor.
And Albus, I couldn't believe my eyes. I'm not seeing things. It's a spitting image of James Potter, and he had Harry Potter's scar. Are you sure? No, yes, I don't know. I couldn't confirm. I ran away.
No, he just happened to match everything we have in the records.
Yeah. So 10 more
Screamed
minutes
the
later,
librarius as the
they ran all the way
demons came
over.
from the heavens.
Blah blah blah. Well-aged woman in a smart purple dress answered the door this time. Good afternoon, madame. My name's Albus Watson, Dr. Holmes, Dr. Watson. She beamed out. You must be the Schoolage officials John was talking about this morning. Come in, come in. Yo-ho, Sherlock, John, you have visitors. And a big fucking wall of text that I don't feel like reading right now. Some descriptions about stuff about the room, blah, blah, blah. Oh, Miss Hudson, the tow-haired one. After a beat standing up, I'm John Watson. Yeah, I fucking knew it. They
What
made
the fuck is
Sherlock a
Tao?
girl.
The fuck is Tao-haired? Fucking,
And
like,
you
Tao
called me
missile?
insane, yet it was a prophecy, Max. A prophecy, I
Oh,
say.
No, I called you insane for incorrectly assigning a character to that moment.
And yet I was right anyway.
You're right on another thing entirely. Come on.
Yeah,
not that hard.
congratulations, Broken Clock.
Somehow,
You're
despite
once
not answering the
done.
question presented to you, you still got it correct.
No, that's a sneaky moment.
Truly.
Oh,
Your math was entirely wrong, yet you still somehow got the correct answer. Hello, Miss Hudson. I'm John Watson. How you do, John? Hello. Wait, didn't they earlier just say Mr. Sherlock?
I don't know anymore.
Wait, oh yeah, Mr. Holmes and Dr. Watson. Sherlock, John, you have visitors. Hello, I'm John Watson. Wait, so they're both guys?
What?
Wait, hold on. So, your couch. John, as you mentioned earlier, necessary guest. No, I've had mass visitations. John frowned at Sherlock. So, yeah, Sherlock is also a guy. So they're both guys. So wait, who the fuck's the woman in the purple dress?
Well, they said Mrs. Hudson, so that would be their landlady. Well, I actually don't know what BBC Sherlock did, so for all I know, that's their maid. I don't fucking know.
Okay, so let's look this up. BBC.
It's the housewoman.
In the original Sherlock, Hudson
Okay,
was
yeah.
the landlady.
Okay, yeah. So this is the original Mrs. Hudson, and
Yeah,
here's
landlady.
the new Mrs. Hudson. I think maybe.
I don't know.
BBC.
I don't want to know.
I kind of don't want to know. Oh, so this is. Wait.
Okay, so that's who they got to be Hudson and
Okay.
BBC.
All right. Wouldn't exactly call her well aged.
Damn
That's.
sneaky.
I
did
mean,
have a
look,
murder
hold
in the
on,
woman.
look. You can't go with hair like that and bags underneath the eyes and call them. Yeah, they're pretty well aged. It's like,
What you smoking?
you sure about that? They don't look all that greatly aged. So yeah. Anyway, two guys. Miss Hudson. Okay. Yep. All right. Right. Uh-huh. Harry's parents. Harry looks 1-year-old students. For early behavior must have been spooky. I hope it wasn't too alarmed. Harry's okay. He's confused. Let's not waste time. You're here to convince us. So cut the theatrics and tell us what you're really meant to do. You're an uncommonly intelligent man. What do you think I'm really here for? The question isn't what, the question is who. Who are you? You're the headmaster and you're the deputy. So far obvious. The school in which you used to work for is an old building, medieval castle, stone, marble, large grass courtyard. You haven't taught my generation. You also taught my parents' generation. Both of you wear robes, wide brim hats. You use magic. John went from regarding Dumbledore uneasily to giving Sherlock an exasperated look. Your school is designed to train students to perform spells. You don't train students, you send them back. Your school acts as a gateway so the child possessing this power can enter a hidden society. Anything else? You're a prominent man in the world. So basically, he's having Sherlock do this massive info dump about Dumbledore with no information.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, already fucked up. A lot of Sherlock stuff comes from how much he just studied and read up on.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like a good example of a way to write Sherlock in a crossover scenario, because Sherlock in a natural scenario is the guy's just smart and observant, but a good way to write and well read. But a good way to write Sherlock in a crossover scenario in which stuff he normally wouldn't have been able to read up on would be if you guys ever saw Psych.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's actually a perfect thing to jump to.
Yeah. So basically, Psych was what channel did it air on?
It was USA. It took over the time slot for Monk when Monk finally ended.
So basically, Psych is a really good slapstick comedy story between that one actor from, was it the guy from Scrubs?
I'm not sure.
And maybe. So anyway, one guy, one really smart, lazy dude, and his upstanding black friend who sells in medicine. Yeah, that's what it is. He's a wandering medicine salesman or some shit.
He worked for a big pharmaceutical company.
Right. Yeah. And so he helps his friend on the side, the smart one, and his smart friend's lazy and doesn't really want to do a lot of hard work. So he gets this idea to act like a psychic, and he opens up a psychic detective agency. And yes, they do make the laws and taxes and a whole bunch of other shit relevant throughout the story because of how much he's just bullshitting through all of it.
Based.
And the formula of each episode is that he goes in, pretends to be a psychic, does a whole bunch of mumbo jumbo, but while he's doing it, the camera will show him focusing on different objects with his eyes, but then later on when he goes through the explanation, it'll focus on what exactly the object he was looking at each time as he's going through and explaining everything. Because he's just really smart and really observant, and he uses that to pretend he's a psychic detective. And they solve a whole bunch of cases, and it's actually a really great show. I loved it. It's right up there with Scrubs as a top favorite of mine.
Yeah, it's really solid writing. I love that the dad was in on it too. It's like, if I tell them anything,
Yeah.
you're fucked, son.
And they even have a moment in the second season or the end of the first season or something, where he gets a Moriarty who is just as observant, just as smart dude who's coming after him because he stopped in like an earlier episode. He stopped one of his criminal rings, and now he's like gunning for this guy, and he's way more willing to use violence, way more willing to kill people. And the smart dude is not exactly prone to violence because he's like, I don't want to get in fights. And being hit hurts.
Yeah, I don't remember. That might be two-parter. I just straight up
Yeah, it was a
missed.
two-parter. Yeah, it was a season finale two-parter.
That sounds like a two-parter.
It was really good. I loved the entire two seasons, 3 seasons of Psych. That was such a good show.
I think it might have gotten 4.
Yeah. I've watched the entire thing. It's been so long though. It's right up there with House and Scrubs from how long ago it was since I've watched it. It was such a good fucking show. It's on Netflix, or it used to be on Netflix at least.
Implying anyone watches Netflix.
Like, to give you guys an idea of how long ago it was since I've watched that show, 2009, 2010-ish.
Fuck, dude.
That's 11 years.
Yeah, it's old. It's an old show now. Yeah.
And so are you, Sneaky. You're old news.
And yet, it's still better than half the crap that comes out now.
Well, I mean, obviously, because the people back then actually knew how to fucking write.
Wow. What a twist.
Yeah.
People had to work to make their story.
So anyway, oh, you know what this is? This is basically how people treat Lisa and Luna in Worm and Harry Potter, respectively, where they just know everything for no apparent reason, with no previous clues to even possibly say, hey, look, maybe they entered the newspaper office and they saw a newspaper hanging on the rack and they picked up clues from that and they managed to pull some shit out of their ass. It's like, no, it's just like, I'm just going to sit here, and even though you're wearing a nice 3-piece suit right now, I'm just going to say, oh, you constantly wear frilly hats. And it's just like,
yeah, that was actually a really important part about the original Sherlock Holmes writing too, of like, how could you possibly have known that I'm a carpenter?
No, it's because your hands, I shook them.
Yeah, like you have these very specific calluses, you've also got fraying on your sleeve there,
Right.
blah, 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 blah. Like, he lists off all these things that most people would just ignore.
Yep.
Which is the whole point of the character.
Like, people don't know how to actually rate geniuses and stuff like that, so they just go.
Good people are dumb, no sir. Like you.
So anyway, Sherlock Holmes just magically guesses all of the information perfectly correct about Dumbledore, despite there being literally no information that he could have possibly guessed. Like,
amazing.
The problem here is right here. For lack of a better word, you use spells like Stupefy and Obliviate. How would he know that? Like, even if he read the letter and the letter somehow, had all of Dumbledore's titles in it. Even if, he remembered reading an old newspaper or remembered something, like, how would he know Stupefy and Obliviate? There is literally no resource that he could have seen, read, heard, or anything that would have given him Stupefy or Obliviate unless he previously encountered wizards.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, that he has to have like, okay, if Sherlock's going through this trouble, because Sherlock did like fucking with people from time to time, this would have to end with like, oh yeah, no, I knew James Potter for like 20 years. Dude was bad at hiding his magic or some shit.
Yeah. Blah blah blah, Harry. Blah blah blah, Harry home. Blah blah blah. For magic folk, you be the 6th person I've ever encountered who's magical. For that John's ever encountered, you're the 2nd person that I've ever encountered. That's such a weirdly stated statement. I gather this is not your first encounter with magic folk. You would be the 6th, Sherlock confirmed. For John, that is. You're the 2nd for me.
Bro.
That doesn't.
That's like the opposite of what you would say. Oh, is this your first time? This is not your first time encountering the people with magic. No, this is actually my 2nd, 6th for John.
Wouldn't it be?
That's so fucking weird. I suppose you guessed the hidden existence of our world from these very few encounters. I would have never guessed. He simply observes, then deduces. So how did you deduce the parchment, quills, and robes? Your clothes, the cut and fabric, aren't replicas. They're authentic and directly from the period. You're an educator and a bachelor. You won't waste money on a restoration, so we'll keep it genuine. Could have been inherited, but it's tailored to fit your frame. Okay, you know what? Fair enough. That is something you can observe from someone's clothes. Fair? Alright, fine.
Yeah.
I'll give you that. The quills are easy, and you know it already. You see, the calluses on your finger and the ink marks suggest frequent use of a narrow instrument dipped in ink and not the usual pen and pencil. Well, why not a quill pen?
Yeah, that one feels like a little bit of a stretch.
Like, a feather wouldn't leave calluses on your hand.
Yeah. I actually have a fucking authentic Harry Potter quill and pen set.
Yeah?
Can't confirm.
Yeah.
It does not leave calluses.
Also, on top of that, Dumbledore would be like, oh man, my hand's starting to cramp up. I'll just take, like, a fucking healing potion or a piss key my hands or some shit, and boom, calluses are probably gone because the wound was healed before the skin could build up.
Yep.
Oh.
It's pretty holy deduction.
It's a really plot hole of an introduction. The letter is made of parchment, not paper. Okay, fair enough. Legends of wizards
Sure.
and witches and wizards usually end around the medieval era, Renaissance at most. I mean,
Eh,
yeah, okay, yes, but at the same time, why would you deduce that they're, like, still in a castle? Why couldn't they have updated? Like, sure, they may not have updated their clothing because they're still, a minority and they don't have factories producing clothing and they still, do hand shit. But why would they still be in a castle just because story stuff being told? Like, he's literally like...
He's also wrong.
Oh?
Yeah, the Enlightenment, which ended the Renaissance,
Yeah.
started in about 1620-ish.
Yeah.
The Salem witch trials,
Oh, right,
1692.
Yeah, it's true, yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, not only that, literally, Diagon Alley. None of that's
Yeah.
medieval.
True. It's kind of fucked, honestly.
So all I'm saying is that if he
like
guessed,
at most Victorian.
yeah, if he guessed anything else, like, it's just why a castle? Why would you assume a castle? Like, oh yeah, you guys just have a fucking castle somewhere.
why did Sherlock go southern?
Because this is southern.
Goddamn
block.
feds. Yeah. The goddamn feds have a castle somewhere. I know it.
You see, he doesn't get his powers from being super smart. He gets his powers from drinking a shit ton of moonshine and then just saying shit, and it just happens to be right.
Yeah. Also fair point, Jin.
Yeah, we do still have the nutters that think they're witches and do pagan rituals to stop Donald Trump.
Didn't really work out too well for
I mean,
them,
I guess
did.
it worked.
I mean,
there was
it had like about had a 4-year fucking
Yeah, it had a 4-year delay on it. Yeah.
yeah. Bit of charge time on it.
Yeah,
but
it just
once
happened to
hit-
be at the same time that voting was occurring that the ritual finally kicked in.
Yeah, you know the stars had to align.
Yeah,
Mercury had to be in retrograde.
they had to retrograde a line 4 times.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, ergo, your world went into hiding around that period. Again, we already said this is not true. The seclusion was so complete that the use of quill and parchment continued, as well as robes, which were a peril of choice for academia. Okay, sure, but McGonagall is wearing a suit with a pencil skirt. That's very, like, boomer.
No.
You know? That's very modern boomer. That's not... Like, maybe you could deduce that Dumbledore is, like, obscenely old, but that the entire society wears robes because Dumbledore did?
It's a bit of a stretch.
Yeah.
That's more than a bit.
Yeah. And because your society went into hiding, you stopped using quills and parchment, despite the fact that you're coming to collect my child so he can go learn at this facility of yours. You guys just stopped making advancements. I'm just going to assume that you stopped making advancements. It's like, why would advancements stop if they're continuously contacting the outside world to collect more children? Like, the children just gonna be like, well, I know that I used pens and pencils for the first years of my life when I was in school, but I guess I'll just only use quills from now on. No, I'm pretty sure there would be at least one kid that'd be like, quills fucking suck. Can I at least get a metal quill? You know?
Yeah.
A quill pen?
Fucking fountain pen.
Yeah.
Something like that.
It just baffles me. See, this is why typically trying to write people that are smarter than you doesn't work. Because while at first some of these explanations do in fact work, like they could have if he took out calluses on your fingers and just went with ink marks suggest frequent use of a dipped ink and not pen and pencil, I'd be like, okay, fair enough. But you went with calluses on your fingers, which means you use a quill. It's like, no, it doesn't. Like, bro, what?
But you see, Sneaky, the calluses worked out, so they actually look like they were 5 years instead of 3.
Oh, yeah, of course. The calluses prematurely aged themselves. My bad. I should have known.
Come on,
Yeah.
Sneaky, you got to be better than this.
Yeah, come on, that's typical. You should have known.
I should have known. Except you were wrong about the robes. Everyone wears them. Except for McFucking-Gonagall right next to you, apparently.
I mean, clearly she isn't someone based Dumbledore.
Yeah, I guess they carried those Renaissance opinions of women over too.
Indeed.
It's not looking good for you, Dumbledore.
Dumbledore, watch out, you might get cancelled.
Fucking here come the tweet longer threads about why Dumbledore is actually a misogynist.
Here comes Hermione.
Oh god, oh fuck.
Hermione invents Twitter to cancel Dumbledore.
Okay, but like, I can literally see fucking Emma Watson making a Twitter post about why Dumbledore is problematic.
That's a fair point. That's a fair point.
You've made me sad.
Too bad.
You know what? That'd be a massive power move. I made a super successful social media platform. Why? Because fuck this guy.
So yeah, anyway, blah blah blah. I'll go get Harry. Harry, you're going to a school of magic, and then John, for some reason, gets really angry and starts sputtering. And Dumbledore's like, "Oh man, I'm sorry, man. Does this happen often?" And John's like, "Oh man, it happens all the fucking time." What happens all the time? Literally, all Sherlock did was leap out of his chair and power stride out of the room. And then he walked upstairs and he goes, "Harry, you're going to a school of magic." And apparently that's enough to get Watson angry and sputtering.
I guess it's supposed to be that he made the decision without consulting Watson?
Oh, okay.
That's the only thing I can think of, but like
Yeah.
even that feels like a stretch, because
How dare
I mean,
you
in
just
that case, it's really
decide that
poorly
a child must learn how to control the power inside him? There's nothing wrong with him. He doesn't need to control it, says the woman who controls storms. But what if there was an academy for people to learn how to control their powers, says the woman who kills everyone they touch?
Yep.
Indeed.
Really showing how elitist you are, Storm.
The best way to write a smart person like Sherlock Holmes is to never write from their point of view and just describe what they're doing and how they did it in a short paragraph that's simplified. Yeah, pretty much.
yes, that is a good way of going about it.
Now, was it no, it wasn't Terry Pratchett. Was it Pratchett? No, it wasn't. Atin.
Patton might be dead from that migraine he
Ah,
mentioned.
fuck.
Yeah, he finally finished himself walking down the stairs again.
Damn it! I was trying to. So I think it's Terry Pratchett. Not the guy who does Wheel of Time, but the guy who does Dresden. That's
No.
Pratchett, right?
That is not Pratchett.
Fuck. Who does Dresden?
Jim Butcher?
Sure.
Jim something, I think.
It's
Jim
Jim
Butcher.
It's
Jim Browning.
no,
Anyway,
it's
so
Jim-
the point being is that I don't think it's Jim Butcher. That it was definitely Pratchett who was giving these lectures. So Pratchett apparently used to give lectures about writing, writing tips, writing hints, etc. How I go about
Yeah,
out.
addressed this by Jim Butcher.
Mm. So he used to give these little lectures about like how I go about writing, and this is how I approach writing the villain. This is how I approach writing the hero, etc., etc. And one point he was talking about how do you write characters that are smarter than you, and he said it's really easy. What you do is you find someone smarter than you, and then you listen to how they talk, how they interact with people, and just write them, but altered. And I agree.
Sometime.
I agree to a point with him, but the problem is you have to be smart enough to realize there's people smarter than you.
Yeah.
Which a lot of dipshits don't realize that. B, yeah, right. B, then you have to go find someone smarter than you, and then C, you have to be smart enough to understand the person smarter than you enough to break them down into a character you can use. Which basically means when you're writing a character smarter than you, you can write the character who is smarter than you, but you have to, at minimum, be only a little bit dumber than that character already.
Mm-hmm.
So It's not like someone, barely peaking 90 IQ is going to be able to write someone like Albert fucking Einstein with his 145 or whatever it was, a 185 or something, whatever. Point being is that it's not going to happen because they're just not fucking smart enough to understand.
Yep.
How it is. Could I ever think about what's in Einstein's mind? Fucking no. I'm not fucking smart enough either. So
yeah,
that man came up with some wild ass shit, and I don't think I'll never be able to understand half of it.
But he did appreciate a good pair of socks.
You know, it's the simple things in life, Max.
It really
Yes.
is.
We have all sorts like that in the magical world too, though none are so brilliant as him. You're no slouch. People don't normally react to him like you do. How do people normally react? They tell him to piss off. Dumbledore was still
Face.
laughing. I mean, fair enough. I
Fair
suppose.
enough, yes, they were telling him to piss off. He was a joke among the local police forces despite constantly outdoing them on their own cases.
Yep. So yeah, honestly, blah blah blah. I'm not really not fucking interested in the story anymore. The author's already shown themselves to be completely unable to write this stuff properly. Little conversation with the Burmese python is unusual. Blah blah blah. You can talk to snakes. All right, so basically they're just using by the power of science, logic, and reason. We're just going to skip all the problems in this story. That's what you mean. Yeah, fine, okay, but this is literally just Methods of Rationality Part 2 Boogaloo.
Yeah. And more, but this time it's a fucking Sherlock Holmes
Yeah,
crossover.
now they're using Sherlock Holmes to
So you
facilitate
can
it.
masturbate to intelligence even harder.
Yeah, literally. So I mean, kudos to the author where it's due. They got the grammar right, their pacing's okay, they got decent dialogue going on. The characters can make some decent, jokes, set up some okay, funny situations. Nothing really good. Their wording is a little bit weird in areas. They got some weird switching up of dialogue at times. Etc., etc., etc. But at the end of the day, it really is reading like nothing more than just a crossover version of Methods of Rationality. And Methods of Rationality was boring as shit because they're like, by the logic of science and power and brain matter, we're just gonna solve all the issues in Harry Potter and basically not make any new ones because we're so fucking smart. We don't invent our own problems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really smooth brain move.
So yeah, anyway, give this story a read if you feel like it. Honestly, I'm
Or
just
don't,
not
if you don't.
interested in it personally. I'm not gonna say it's a great, amazing, fantastic story or that even the plot's interesting at all. But if you're interested in Methods of Rationality, which a fair number of people are, and as 8,000 people said, they too were interested in this sort of story. So hey, it is what it is. I'm not gonna tell you not to read it because it's not garbage, but it ain't anything special.
Yeah. Could be a lot better.
So anyway, it is now 9:30. We've been talking for quite a while, so we'll now all bid you adieu. We will see you maybe on Friday. Yeah, Friday. Yeah, Friday.
That is indeed today.
And no, today's Tuesday.
Yeah, that is indeed the day we will
Oh yes,
likely
yeah.
next
And
read it.
of course, we'll see you on Friday because there is always more, and it always gets worse.